be. Chorus now once again in session. However, I must say I'm quite surprised at this recent upturn of events. Seeing Skira at the witness stand once again, frankly I cannot believe my eyes. You were most certainly sent to the flames as a witch. That's right, I was there, I saw it. She most certainly was. And how is she still alive? Is it because she's a witch? Can witches not die? No, she must have used the mirror and vanished just in time. I say send her straight to the fire. Redo herself if we have to. Enough, a witch must be in possession of a Talia Magica not to use magic. I hate to disappoint you all, but do you see such a thing on her person? I think not. But she must have... That girl must have used the mirrors. Surely you can see that I consider. The mirrors are spell able to make someone disappear from sight. It cannot make one vanish entirely. And besides, investigation conducted by the Knights of the Inquisition has concluded that this girl is not capable of using magic. Listen well, Miss Kira. Existence alone jeopardized the very peace of Labyrinth, yet given the current situation, it's now imperative that you testify to this court regarding what you saw immediately.
Objection!
That may not be necessary. What? This girl has already been convicted and tried as a witch in the previous trial. What could come of her testimony?
Objection!
But she was found hiding at the crime scene. I'd say that makes her a very important witness, a witness whose testimony you cannot choose to ignore. Hi, Mr. Darkla, I'm afraid your objection is overruled. You wish to proceed then? Very well. Let us see just how much of our story the police curse room is held to court, shall we? There's no doubt about it, Miss Kira must have escaped through the passage leading under the chamber of fire. Although, from the looks of it, the judge doesn't have a clue that escape route even exists. We should hurry up and get the hint. I'm dying to take this helmet off already. Some of my head really itches. Sorry, Maya. Take that thing off now and we are as good as done. Just hang in there a little while longer. Aww. Every witness, you may begin your testimony. Explain to the court how you are standing here in court today and why you were hiding at the crime scene. I'm not familiar with this Kira you keep talking about. I came from the Eldritch Woods. Came to this town to summon forward the fire dragon and kill the storyteller. As it rained, I waited near the bell tower next to the vigilantes for my chance. I was only there to carry out my orders. I don't know anything else outside of that. You came here to kill the storyteller?
Objection!
Keep in mind, this girl was not the one who summoned the fire truck in the end. That was the accused. As I warned you earlier, there's nothing to be gained from this witch's testimony.
Objection!
Now hold on. She was still present at the scene of the crime with the intent to murder the storyteller. The defense insists we be permitted to continue with our cross-examination on those grounds. Darklaw is really trying to weasel her way out of this cross-examination. That means there has to be something there. I must admit, I too am extremely interested in hearing what this witness has to say. Defender, you may begin your interrogation. Okay, I'm gonna... Who gave you the orders? Miss Kira, who exactly gave you your orders? I cannot say, and why is that? I am not to disclose the identity of the one who has given me my orders. That in itself is an order. How convenient. I am only supposed to carry out my orders, nothing more. I do not know anything else, and besides, there is nothing more than I can really do. Nothing more she can do. Hold on just a minute. Surely you are capable of using magic. You are a witch, are you not? I am not a witch. What did you just say? I cannot use magic. She can use magic. This girl is a witch. Every person in this courtroom knows that. As a matter of fact, there can be an area doubt. It doesn't look like there's much to work with. Even though she's just finished explaining everything, I still don't fully understand. Oh man, Nick, you don't think this Kira is actually some sort of crazy magical zombie, do you? Maya, you went through the same thing as Kira. Did you become a magical zombie? Oh yeah, I guess not, huh? Luke and I couldn't believe it was Kira. Then we ran into her in the marketplace. I mean, we thought for sure she was a goner back at the trial. I don't think I'm far off though. This Kira is way different than the old Kira. Looks like she doesn't remember a thing. She's almost like another person entirely. But what if that's just it, Maya? What if the Kira right here is right now is the real Kira and the old Kira wasn't? The real Kira, huh? Yeah, and that's why. I think I'm about to find something useful in her testimony. Can you do this, Nick? I hope you're ready to slam on some desk because we are gonna do some serious pressing here. Serious pressing? Rain?
Hold it!
Hold right there, Miss Kira. You snuck right past the vigilantes. Yes, that's right. This girl's a witch. Therefore, something as simple as vanishing from sight is a child's play. Is that the right witness? Yes, that is correct. Aha, I remember now. Just a few days ago, this girl used that very vanishing spell, Demir, if memory serves. Well, what are you gawking at, witness? Continue with the testimony. What's that just now? I could have sworn I just saw Kira's face turn even paler than normal. Wait a second. There's something not right about this testimony. It's just a hunch, but what should I do? Press further. Miss Kira, I have one simple question for you. You stated earlier in your testimony that you snuck past the vigilante's car in the bell tower and went right inside. Tell me, did you use the spell Nimir to get by them? That must certainly be the case. Had she not, she would surely have been spotted.
Objection!
But remember what she let slip just a moment or two ago? She ended up being a witch and stated she cannot use magic. Therefore, if that's true, then you, Miss Kira, would not have been able to use the mirror at all.
Objection!
What a ridiculous argument. How else would this girl have been able to walk right into the bell tower unnoticed by the guards? Explain that.
Objection!
I have a better idea. How about we have the witness herself explain it to you? What do you say, Miss Kira? I am not a witch. And I cannot use magic. So then, exactly how were you able to ascend the panel tower without being noticed? Witness, amend your testimony this instant. Okay. What's going on? There's gotta be another way she got into the bell tower unseen, but other than magic, I have no idea what that could be. Well... Robot invisibility. Wait, where's my... Oh, there it is.
Objection!
Robot invisibility? There was in fact a rope dropped and left at the crime scene tonight. Rope. Scare that rope of invisibility that you mentioned earlier wouldn't happen to be this one right here, would it?
Objection!
How ludicrous! You are trying to tell the court that that is the rope of invisibility. If it's really a rope of invisibility, then how is it we can see it right now? Dirty white spots and all. Well, she's kinda got a point there. Oh hey! What if the rope actually disappears when you wear it? You here, Nick? What's in wonder as Maya the Magnificent disappears before your very eyes? Is it true? Nope. So, are you amazed yet? Yeah, I'm amazed at how totally ridiculous you look in that. Hey, what gives? This thing must be bust or something. It didn't disappear at all. Well, that's not it. No. Tonight at the bell tower, I was wearing that rope. What? What did you say? Order, I said order. What? How is it possible? The rope did not disappear at all just now. That's because of the white powder on it. It's usually at the 30. Oh, you mean these bots here? Please don't tell me. Oh yeah, Peditory unloaded an entire bag of flour and onto those nights, remember? Not to mention it was still raining when we were up there. The flour must have gotten nice and wet, so it stained the rope. Say, what if you try washing the flour off? Ugh. There's a small water fountain at the edge of the square. Head there right now and wash the rope so that we can get to the bottom of this. Quickly now. Okay. Alright, this shouldn't be too hard. Take notes, Nick. This is how you do the laundry. See, all we have to do is throw the rope into the water like so. Wait, what? So, do you see anything, Maya? That's just it. I don't see that thing disappear. What? I frantically took a close look at the water in the fountain, but the rope had actually vanished without a trace right there inside the fountain. Defender, what is the meaning of this? How could you have lost such a vital piece of evidence? Your Honor, it wasn't on purpose. Trust me, admission knew how it happened. Can't believe it, the rope actually disappeared from sight. I don't quite know what you were talking about. I can still see the rope just fine. Huh? Look, it's right there. Here, see? Now, Miss Kia, I really don't see because there's nothing to see. So is that how it works? Putting the rope on makes you disappear completely from sight. From the looks of it, only Kira is able to actually see the rope itself. It is not just me. It's the only inhabitants of the Eldritch Woods. All of us can see the rope. The Eldritch Woods. A village lies deep within the recesses of the forest, in a world much different from this one. That's where I live. As long as we obey the law of the land, we are allowed to live there. I knew it. There's definitely something different about Kira compared to the rest of the townspeople here. For the time being, seeing as only the witness can see the rope, we will cover it in flour again for the sake of visibility. But there's still only one tiny thing bothering me. Miss Kira, your rope was found on the middle floor of the bell tower, the same floor where we found my client. However, you were hiding on the uppermost level of the bell tower. You testified a little while ago that you dropped your rope, but I have to wonder, what exactly were you doing there on that top floor? It would seem there's still much we must ask this witness. What say you, High Inquisitor Darklaw? It is the Inquisition's duty to follow my lord's decision on such matters. I have no objections. Very well, witness, you are hereby ordered to continue with your testimony. Tell us what happened between your sneaking up to the top floor of the bell tower and tonight's most terrible crime. Yes, okay. Sweating on the middle floor of the tower, I started to turn around, but I was too late. They attacked me from behind. There was nothing I could do. My arm was restrained, and the attacker covered my mouth. So I struggled to get away. I think I managed to pull something off of my attacker. That's when I lost consciousness. I woke up to find myself next to the bell on the top floor of the tower. I have an idea! Witness, are you saying someone attacked you while you were in the bell tower? Yes, that is correct. But who? I don't know. They attacked me from behind, so I couldn't see who it was. So you were unconscious at the entire after that. That's why I was unable to complete my mission. But even if I hadn't been unconscious, I couldn't have done anything trapped high up in the belfry like that. Belfry. I wonder if that weird contraption we found there was used to move you up to the belfry. At least I can't see any other way she could have got up there. When we heard the witness, she was locked up in the belfry of the tower. In other words, she couldn't have had anything to do with tonight's events. Therefore, there is no need for this utterly useless interrogation.
Objection!
Not so fast. The witness also testified that someone attacked her tonight. Defender, are you blind that this attacker could have been Gisela? I can't say for certain, Your Honor. Regardless, the defense request we be allowed to cross-examine this witness. Request granted. Now then, Defender, you may begin your interrogation. Here's where the fun begins. Let's see if we can coax this mysterious second witch out of hiding. Dark Law! I have an idea. Where is it? Pull something. Yeah. It's gonna be this.
Objection!
It's curious that you felt yourself snap something off of your attacker. Would that thing by any chance be this right here? Oh? That's it! I recognize that shape. That was the object I grabbed. What did you say? But that's Mercuse's pendant, is it not? Not quite, Your Honor. There are actually two pendants like this. The one you see here is the counterpart to Miss Cantabella's pendant. Now that you mention it, I remember. The necklace was actually very tough. It didn't really rip right off so easily. So I struggled against it, shocking and pulling at it for a bit, and I must have scratched their neck in the process. Wait a second, you mean you scratched your attacker's neck? I think so, but I don't know for sure. In that case, I mean, the dark stuff on the necklace could be... Yeah, it could be the attacker's blood. As the court can clearly see, there are still traces of blood left on the necklace itself. However, take one good look at my client. You'll notice there are no visible scars or cuts of any kind around her neck. Ergo, there's no way Miss Cantabella could be Miss Kira's attacker.
Objection!
Nice try, Defender. I must stop you right there, huh? Have you already forgotten what I told you? The witch can use any spell in existence. She could have easily healed any such wound in the blink of the eye. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I already miss Inquisitor Barnham. Man, we really can't catch a break on this one, huh? Let us resume the interrogation. Okay. Struggle to get away. I think I might just pull something up my attacker. That's when I cross-cut in the World Cup. Aw. There's nothing you could do. Cover him up, but then...
Objection!
Scared there's something a little strange about your testimony just now, wouldn't you say? Huh? Said that you were attacked from behind, that the attacker grabbed you by the wrist, correct? Yes, that's right. Assuming that was in fact the case, then I'd say no matter how much you struggled, there's no way you would have been able to yank off this pendant, don't you think? The strap on this pendant is too short. There's no way you could have reached behind you and managed to pull it off. That is a good point. Miss Kira, the only way you would have been able to yank this pendant off your attacker is if they were standing directly in front of you. Or I say, witness, is this true?
Objection!
The witness was the victim of a physical attack. It's only natural that she'd be a bit confused on some of the details.
Objection!
I consider I wouldn't exactly call mistaking the location of the attacker being a bit confused. I call it more of a bare-faced lie. Well now, Defender, I see you are as pathetically short-sighted as ever. Your argument is only valid assuming that this girl here actually saw her attacker. If she was not able to see this person, well, I'd say it make no difference where they were standing. Then, that means the attacker was also wearing one of these robes? That is impossible, my lord, as the witness already stated earlier. Only residents of the Eldritch Woods are able to see these robes. In short, the attacker must have been a witch and must have disappeared from sight with the use of magic. Must be the Great Witch Pizella. There is one more thing proving that the attacker to be a witch. Which one might that be? The witness has stated that she lost consciousness. If you take a look in this grand grimoire, you will notice a spell called Fameful. Witness, allow me to ask you, do you hear the incantation of the spell? Now that you mentioned it. I do remember hearing something like that. Say what? Ah, here it is. Painful causes those who hear the incantation to lose all consciousness. Let's not forget, the Great Witch can use any and all magic at will. Effects takes the hold the second the incantation is heard. Give some any testimony to reflect. Okay. Yes, right away. Oh boy, can't believe she managed to get out of that one. Still, I'm not about to give up just yet. I'll keep on going until we finally get to the bottom of who this attacker really is. Now let's continue with the interrogation. Shh. Painful, huh? Is there any other thing? Grand Worm, Painful Grand Worm, Godor, Familia. Painful Familia. Hey!
Objection!
Objection. Miss Kira, I have watched you at the witness stand this entire trial, desperately trying to keep something hidden from the rest of the court. I wonder if you're familiar with the saying, a lie begets more lies. It means multiple lies are bound to unravel and leave your story with more holes than Swiss cheese. Get to the point, defender. According to the Grand Grimoire, Painful causes a person to lose all consciousness. It's written here in black and white. Its effect takes hold the second the incantation is heard. Miss Kira, you testified as follows. You heard the incantation for Painful and immediately became aware of the presence of your attacker, you then put up a fight. But if you really did hear that incantation, there's no way you would have been able to yank that pendant from your assailant. Order. What is the meaning of this? The meaning is that Miss Kira didn't actually hear the incantation like she claimed she did. But then why on earth was this girl unconscious? Kira was definitely knocked out by whoever attacked her, and when she woke up, she found herself up on the top floor of the bell tower. It's possible Miss Kira was rendered unconscious by something other than magic. The answer here is obvious. Something other than magic must have knocked her out.
Objection!
What, may I ask, makes you so certain of that? Is it not possible that another spell could have been used?
Objection!
It's just not possible. You of all people should know that. What? It's Kira's claim that she heard someone say the incantation is completely false. And so, that wouldn't be too much of a problem if she actually had heard an incantation. That's right. However, going by her testimony, that can have been the case. Every spell capable of making someone lose consciousness is painful. Isn't that right, High Inquisitor Dark Lord? Defender, are you claiming there is another way besides magic that could have been used to render Miss Kira unconscious? There's only one other thing that crossed my mind. I'm speaking, of course, about sleeping medicine. Sleeping medicine. You remember, Miss Kira stated that the attacker covered her mouth before she could scream. In doing that, the attacker was able to administer potent sleep medicine, then thus putting Miss Kira out like a light. Indeed, that does make sense. Therefore, Your Honor, the attacker did not necessarily have to be Bezella. I mean, why would an all-powerful being capable of commanding any and all magic need to resort to drugging someone?
Objection!
Hold it right there, Defender. They managed to sneak past the guards and make their way up in the Repel Tower. Clearly, they must have used magic to appear invisible.
Objection!
You don't need magic to make yourself disappear, High Inquisitor. Throw this on and getting past those guards at the tower is a piece of cake. The rope of invisibility. But, despite all that, there's still one glaring problem. Miss Kira? Yes? You admitted to the court earlier that you were attacked from the front, correct? If that's the case, then there's only one possible conclusion we can draw. You, Miss Kira, were entirely capable of seeing your attacker's face. Why is that? I didn't... Simple, you even said it yourself. The residents of the Eldritch Woods are able to see this rope. I I mean, Miss Kira, there's a piece of this puzzle only you could possibly know. Only you can tell us the identity of the person who entered the bell tower and attacked you tonight. I can't tell you. No matter what happens, I just can't tell you no matter what. You see, everyone, this witness has been covering up for someone from the very start of this trial. What? But luckily for us, we won't be needing any more of Miss Kira's testimony. Because the answer is staring us right in the face. I'm speaking, of course, about the true identity of Miss Kira's attacker. All the clues so far point to this one person. Defender, I take it you are prepared to prove such a serious accusation. I am. Alright, it looks like it all comes down to this. Now we'll finally see who's been pulling the strings this whole time. Anyway, Defender. Who was the one?
Take that!
Take that. The answer is obvious, Your Honor. It was you! Hiding to the Dark Law. What? What? Inconceivable, there's no way. I must say, Defender, your courage is impressive. However reckless you may be, accusing a High Inquisitor is no small feat, I assure you. However, with serious accusations come serious consequences. One small misstep, I will personally see that you never set foot in this courtroom ever again. Mark my words, Defender. Understand? My, how confident. Let's see if that confidence of yours is well justified. This case attacker trapped her with sleep medicine. It will likely take no more than a few seconds for her to lose consciousness. The medicine must have been very potent. True, after its effects appear somewhat similar to magic. There's only one person I can think of in all Labyrinthia who could supply you with that kind of medicine. They're Newton Belduke.
Objection!
Defender, you are aware that Sir Belduke has been deceased for over 3 months now, are you not? That's a fact I'm well aware of, believe me. While he was still alive, Sir Belduke provided the citizens of this town with a variety of medicines for whatever ailed them. It wasn't all just medicine. He also created some very dangerous concoctions. That's why, after he passed away, all of his medicines and creations were confiscated. Confiscated? Because the Barham said as much in the last witch trial.
Objection!
So, because I have access to the medicine, I must be the one that used it. Is that what you're getting at, Defender? That's right. Unfortunately for you, I would hardly call that proof. You said it yourself. Sir Belduke concocted a plethora of dangerous medicines in his efforts to assist the people of the town. He was well known for this fact, and fact that he no doubt was none too pleased with. Such, it is highly likely that those same dangerous substances are still scattered throughout the town. And therefore, Defender, it is entirely possible that the culprit was able to get their hands on such a dangerous medicine. Indeed. As long as Sir Belduke's medicine played an active part in maintaining the health of his town's citizens, there is plenty of reason to believe some of his most dangerous medicines still remain with Labyrinthia. A piece of advice, Defender, the next time you speak in court, I recommend you try procuring some real evidence before spouting such idiotic accusations. If you fail to do so, your next words will be uttered to the flames. Because I knew she wouldn't take that argument sitting down. Both High Inquisitor Darkblood and High Inquisitor Barham are the very harbingers of justice with Labyrinthia. Raising such an accusation against either one of them without valid reason will result in the most severe punishment. What does he mean by the most severe of punishment? The judge is saying that if I don't start making a case, we're gonna be paying Sir Belduke a visit real soon. Need to present some decisive evidence at fast. I'm pretty sure I should be able to do that much. High Inquisitor Darklaw is the attacker, and the one thing that proves it is Darklaw herself. Friends believe there's one clue that her linking High Inquisitor Darklaw to the crime. High Inquisitor. That clue is actually still on you right now. On me? I must admit, I do not know where you are going with this, Defender, but please point out this clue to the court. Show us this clue supposedly still on the High Inquisitor's person.
Got it!
Got it. The High Inquisitor's neck? You don't mean... Miss Kira yanked this pendant off of her attacker's neck. Take a look at the necklace, it still has a bit of blood left on it. According to her earlier testimony, when Miss Kira pulled at the necklace, she supposedly felt herself scratch the attacker's neck. Is that correct, Miss Kira? Yes. Therefore, the attacker should still have a mark on their neck from having been scratched. Oh, would you mind letting the court take a look at your neck, High Inquisitor Dracula? I'm pretty sure that underneath that high collar we'll find exactly the mark we're looking for. Unless, of course, you were able to get rid of it with magic. Phew, most impressive. What? I have to say, Defender, you have managed to finally hone that dull blade of yours into something of use. You're correct. There is, in fact, a mark on my neck that I did receive tonight. What? What? Lady Darklaw? What is the meaning of this? Does that mean Lady Darklaw is the Great Witch? Your Honor. Oh, yes, I see you're still here, Defender. Your Honor, I know you're shocked and everything, but come on, work with me here. Your Honor, the defense. I'd like to call High Inquisitor Darklaw to the witness stand. What did you just say? It's quite clear that the High Inquisitor has some connection to what transpired tonight. And what's more, there's a chance that she used her position of authority as High Inquisitor to frame my client as the Great Witch. But never in all my years as a judge of this court has an Inquisitor been asked to take the stand in the middle of a trial. And we're going to have to make some history here if you're finally going to find the truth, Your Honor. Even so, this trial cannot continue any further without an Inquisitor. Hey, in that case, how about you get Inquisitor Barnham remains incarcerated in underground dungeons for the crime of the treason against the storyteller. I don't think he will be able to make it to this party. No way. Most regrettable Defender. This whole thing is hopeless unless High Inquisitor Dracula takes to the witness stand. Spella will be done for and the truth along with her. On the other hand, without an Inquisitor on the other side, the trial can't continue and the outcome would end up the same. What should I do?
Hold it!
Hold it! Layton!
I believe I can fill that role.
Professor, wait, what are you saying?
I can prove, conclusively, that Espella Cantabella is, in fact, the Great Witch Bazella.
Here we go!
Now, Mr. Wright, the time has come at last to settle this once and for all.
We'd been waiting for the professor to show up. If there was anyone who could find some decisive evidence to win this thing, it was him. However, he ended up standing behind the Inquisitor's bench. The professor wasn't on our side here. I had to wonder, what the heck was going to happen?
It's getting good! To be continued. Here we go.
Professor? But what are you doing?
What am I doing, Mr. Wright?
Yeah, you were supposed to show up with some decisive evidence and save the day, Professor.
I'm afraid my only concern here is the truth.
The truth?
The truth behind the real identity of the Great Witch, Espella Cantabella. If seeking the truth requires us to stand on opposite sides of the courtroom, Then so be it. I expect you to defend Miss Cantabella with everything you've got, Mr. Wright.
Good, is that back in session? Are you prepared, High Inquisitor? So long as I remain under witness stand, I am no longer High Inquisitor. Simply Dark Law will suffice. Miss Dark Law, I'd like to just confirm something. A moment ago we established that you were in fact present at the bell tower during the time of the incident. That makes a total of 3 people at the scene. It would appear that was the case. However, you managed to stay hidden from the 10 different guards. With the help of this right here, the rope of invisibility. In other words, there's every reason to be suspicious of your actions tonight. Hey Darklaw, while I cannot believe you would deceive us in such a way, I ask that you tell the court what happened at the time of the incident. Very well. Town Square was to be the parade's final stop. I patrolled the perimeter to ensure nothing was amiss. As I passed by the bell tower, a pair of small footprints leading inside caught my eye. I went inside to investigate. Had my own reasons for not allowing any one of those vigilantes to see me. Climbed the stairs up the bell tower and saw an intruder inside with their back turned. I proceeded to apprehend them. You apprehended the intruder? While I hold the position of High Inquisitor, there are often times when I must partake in very secret tasks, unbeknownst to the citizens of Labyrinthia. One of those tasks being ensuring the security of the storyteller. Security? As such, there is nothing odd nor suspicious about my actions tonight. See, Defender, you may now begin your interrogation. Okay. Your own reasons? What is the own reason? And what were those reasons? They relate to protecting the storyteller. It was something I was to carry out at that particular time. Did it perhaps have something to do with what was already decided upon in the story? The storyteller's word is absolute, therefore, any and all those who make an attempt to alter his will must be dealt with immediately.
What?
Hey!
Hang on!
Excuse me, Miss Kira. Witness. Ah, yes. Figures she really doesn't remember her own name. You seem to be deep in thought about something. Did you remember anything regarding the High Inquisitor's testimony? No, I'm sorry, nothing particular. It's just... I'm a little disappointed in myself. Disappointed? I traveled all the way here to Labyrinth in order to fulfill my mission, but all I managed to do was fail and end up being captured. Regardless of your own failure, Miss Kira, the storyteller did die as was foretold, did he not? Tonight, as the rain came pouring down over the town, I arrived at my designated location. Actually, the bell tower was surrounded by guards and patrol. Then, to be exact, I was very nervous. I must be talking about the vigilantes. Just relax, you'll be fine as long as you're wearing this rope. I kept telling myself, little did I know I was wrong. But none of this would have happened if I was just a little bit more careful. Enough. I would be thinking more about atoning for your past crimes and less about what could have been if I were you. Is there anything wrong with Miss Kira's testimony? Yes. Hold on 1 second. About your testimony, Miss Kira. You were thinking to yourself that so long as you had your rope on, you would be fine. Yes, that's right, I was. So basically, you were wearing the rope the whole time you were on the top floor of the bell tower, is that right? Yes, I had it on the entire time. That is until I was attacked, and my rope was ripped off by the wind. It's clear this is the first time we have heard any mention of this information. Is that so? I think I must have just forgotten. Your Honor, perhaps we should update this piece of evidence in the court record. Right, you are. Okay. It's gonna do with something like that, I guess. So intruder, yeah, you could have seen the intruder if she had it on.
Objection!
The person you saw when you entered the bell tower was actually Miss Kira. The only problem with that is that it would have been impossible. Why are you talking about Defender? Miss Kira, or should I say the witness, stated that while she was waiting on the upper floor of the tower, she was wearing her invisibility robe. And therefore, there's no way Miss Darklaw would have been able to see the witness. Oh, you're quite right. Anyone wearing this robe becomes invisible. Right, but there's just one particular group that can see anyone dressed in this robe. And who is that exactly? Only the residents of the Eldritch Woods are able to see the robe. If you're from the Eldritch Woods, then you'll have absolutely no problem seeing this thing.
Objection!
So what you're saying, Mr. Wright, Miss Darklaw here actually hails from this Eldritch Woods, is that correct? And that she knew this girl prior to the night? That's right, Professor. What is this? Most impressive display, Mr. Wright. However, there's one detail that you appear to have overlooked. Something I overlooked. You say Miss Darklaw saw something she should not have been able to see. However, the truth is that there is one other possibility as to what occurred tonight. Did he just say what I think he said? It's very easy to work out. Quite simply, the witness was not wearing their robe in the first place. What are you talking about, Inquisitor? This witness has proven her memory of tonight's events to be quite unreliable. I believe that by the time she climbed the bell tower, she had in fact already removed her robe. What? This, as you say, Inquisitor. As you can see, Defender, your assertion is mere speculation at best. Your little witness here has been lying to the court of the entire time. It's as simple as that.
Objection!
1 second, this witness was quite clear with her testimony. Is that right, Miss Kira? I'm not sure. What? I mean, my memory is a little fuzzy. No way. It would appear there is nothing more to be gained from this line of questioning. Rather, I suggest we return to the cross-examination. One idea, Inquisitor. Well then, Lady Darklaw, will you please continue the testimony? As you wish. No matter how you slice it, Kira looks like she's definitely hiding something. If only there was some way of getting her to talk, huh? No matter what Kira says, Darklaw just stays cool and brush it off. Yeah, this isn't going to be easy, that's for sure. That's why we really need to set our sights on Darklaw if we keep doing that. And sooner or later, Kira is bound to speak up and say something. Whoa! That's your most dastardly devious plan yet. Right, I know there's still a clue or two in this testimony somewhere, and now I'm gonna find it. Should go back to and double check her previous testimony. There have to be something more contradictions. Okay, let me see. Huh? Okay.
Hold it!
Those must have been Miss Kira's footsteps from when she stuck into the bell tower, right? Indeed, the ground outside was quite muddy after the rain, so her footprints were easily visible. Right, according to the vigilante's testimony, they thought the footprints looked like foxes, but it turned out to be out there bearing hers. That's right, her footprint would have contained a mark where her stiletto had been, but the footprints I saw at the bell tower contained no heel mark at all. You stepped inside those footprints on your way up the stairs so as to not leave your own and risk being detected, correct? Exactly. At that time, my main task was to ensure the safety of the town square. In doing so, it was of the utmost importance that no one knew of my presence there. If the townspeople noticed your presence there, it would have undoubtedly have raised some suspicion. Indeed, so naturally that is why I did not wish to be noticed by the vigilantes. Therefore, it was imperative that I mask any traces of my being there, even if it means utilizing another's footprints. I see, a clever tactic worthy of the High Inquisitor herself. getting off about her testimony. There's something very wrong. Miss Darklaw, I just noticed something in your testimony that's very relevant to the case. The defense requests you amend your testimony. You just can't help letting that ridiculous imagination of yours run wild, can you? The Inquisition has no objections. There's no hill on the footprints, that's okay. There's no hill?
Objection!
What I have here is a sketch of the footprints left at the bell tower. So tell me, Miss Darklaw, are these your footprints in the sketch? It appears so. I would never mean to offend the hard work of Labyrinthius Vigilantes, but tonight's task was mine and mine alone. Okay, when you put it that way, I can't help but notice a contradiction. What did you say? Miss Darklaw, you stated the following. You climbed the stairs, the footprints had no heels, so you tried to match your footsteps to them as far as possible. However, if you look at the actual footprints that were left behind, you can clearly see that not only is the heel present, but so is the entire foot. If you were trying so hard to step on the footprints already there, then the footprints in the sketch shouldn't have heel marks. That is very true, although I do not think such a small detail is of much importance in the long run. It's small detail, but Your Honor, but that's not all I noticed. There's something very telling about Miss Darklaw's testimony. Telling, you say? She stated that she stepped on the footprints that were already at the scene in order to disguise her presence. Now, there's something strange there. Specifically, why were these footprints left at the crime scene in the first place?
Objection!
Mr. Wright? Yes, Professor? Tell me, can you show the court why this seemingly minor detail is odd? I can't exactly do that at the moment. Who can say whether or not these footprints are indeed worthy of concern? And if it is an issue, then what exactly are the implications? That, above all, is what you must answer, Mr. White. I do not believe you can assert that this is a blatant contradiction at this time. Ugh, there he goes again, flexing that amazing brain of his. That's enough. Miss Kira? Lady Darklaw, how could you? How could you simply abandon us? How could you betray us? Betray? Witness, what is the meaning of this? Lady Darklaw, you are the mistress of the Eldritch Wood. You are the one responsible for handing us our tasks. What? Well. This wretched girl is nothing more than a detestable spawn of magic. Her words cannot be taken seriously. People of Labyrinthia ask you, what am I if I'm not a loyal daughter of this fair town? No, you're lying, Lady Darklaw. When I was waiting up there at the top of the bell tower, I was most certainly wearing that robe. Lady Darklaw, you were also wearing a similar robe, were you not? Don't you remember? What a nonsense. I haven't a clue what you were babbling about. So we managed to sneak right by those makeshift guards. That was not the most demanding of tasks for someone like me. Yes, you're right, that would be true. You've been sneaking around by yourself. By yourself? You just explain yourself. Enough. Listen to me and listen to well. Continue as you are. And I will see to it that this court will be the last place in which you ever set foot. Matters not, the end is already nigh. After the events of today, I shouldn't even be here right now. Miss Kira, you're saying that Miss Darklaw was not by herself at the time of the incident tonight. That's right. Lady Darklaw was wearing the invisibility robe, and underneath that robe was a young girl passed out on her back. What? A girl, could that be? Yes. It was the very same girl imprisoned inside that cage up there. You mean Estella Cannabella? Order! So the accused was carried up the bell tower. My lord, there's nothing left for me to say. Is the word of High Inquisitor versus that of a witch? Tell me, who would you sooner believe?
Objection!
Darklaw, you of all people should be aware that this isn't a matter of believing or not believing. I'm afraid those are words that carry no meaning here. The only thing that carries any meaning here in the courtroom is evidence. Don't you agree, Mr. Wright? Yes, absolutely, Professor. And now, things are beginning to heat up a little, are they not? Fine, tell me, Defender, have you the means to prove this assertion? Do you actually think you can prove that I, the Inquisitor of Labyrinth, carried the accused into the bell tower? From the looks of it, Miss Kira was supposed to be kept quiet about Darklaw's little secret, but she couldn't deal with all of Darklaw's deep denials and found the time the guts to charm him. I can't let Kira's efforts go to waste. I don't care what stands in my way, I'm going to find the truth. Your Honor, the defense wishes to present evidence proving to Miss Darklaw that did in fact carry my client up the tower. Very well. I mean... it's gonna be just the foot... yeah.
Take that!
There's something in your testimony just now that I'm not buying. And that's the footprints that were left at the bell tower. Did I not just finish admitting that those were my footprints? Miss Darklaw, you stated the following. There was no heel on the footprints, so as I ascended the stairs, I was careful to match my footsteps to them as far as possible. However, the reality is, the footprints pictured in the sketch actually do contain a heel. I mean, something must have prevented you from being able to tiptoe along the footprints that were already there. Prevented? You mean... That's right, Your Honor. Miss Darklaw, when you climbed up the bell tower tonight, you must have been carrying Miss Candabella on your back, is that correct? If you remember, it rained quite heavily tonight. That means the stairs must have been quite slippery. With your two hands occupied carrying my client, there would be no safe way for you to tiptoe up the stairs without falling. That right there is the truth behind the footprints on the staircase. Lady Darklaw, you... Fine, I admit it. It is as you say, I donned the rope and made my way up the tower. But I was not alone. I carried both Espella, Candabella, and her little friend up the tower with me. Little friend. That black-furred creature of hers, that thing is nary even a second from her side. Oh, she must mean Eve. When I arrived at the top of the tower, I saw this girl already there and called out to her. I was very shocked to see the mistress showed up in person like that. The girl's presence was an inconvenience, so I immediately put her to sleep. Believe it or not, it's just like the self-defender I used at the remaining of Belduke's medicine to put the girl out of the picture. That's when Miss Kira put up a fight and pulled the pendant right off your neck, correct? That's right. Cannot phantom it, that would mean this pendant actually belongs to you, Lady Darklaw. Just have one question, Miss Darklaw. Why? Why take Espella up the bell tower? Why render her unconscious? And why go through the trouble of sneaking past the guards? What exactly was your aim in all of this? I mean, I'm no way obliged to answer that question, Defender. What? What makes you say that? Simple. None of this has any relevance to the case at hand, that is why.
Objection!
Miss Darklaw, you rendered the witness unconscious and locked her up at the top of the bell tower. I said that is more than a little relevant.
Objection!
Your Honor, if I may, the Inquisitions believed the defense's question to be irrelevant to the current case. Professor, what are you saying? It would seem the defense has forgotten a very important point. Namely, the point of this, Mr. Wright. Huh? The aim of this trial is to find the identity of the Great Witch Bizella. Whether or not Miss Darklaw locked the witness at the top of the bell tower is hardly relevant to the purpose of this trial. But there is one thing that is very clear. Neither Miss Darklaw nor this witness could possibly be Bizella. What? Either one of the two were Bizella, then there would be no need for them to have used this rope of invisibility. They cannot use any magic, therefore it is inconceivable that either of them could be the Great Witch. A rather straightforward argument if there ever was one. At the time of the incident, There were 3 people present. Of those 3, 2 used their rope of invisibility to vanish from sight, leaving only 1 person, indeed, Miss Cantabella. With this in mind, the larger question is, who is Bezella? Is that not obvious? The accused, Espella Cantabella, is the only possible answer. Besides, the accuser's voice was heard by all the townspeople chanting the spell Grandworm.
Objection!
Not so fast. I happen to think these witnesses are extremely relevant to this trial. Did you forget about Miss Kira? She supposedly took a one-way trip into that pit of fire over there. Yet here she is, in one piece, testifying that she returned in order to kill the ruler of Labyrinthia, the storyteller. Then there's Miss Darklaw, who rendered the defendant unconscious and proceeded to transport her up the bell tower. I'd say there's more than enough reason to investigate who these 2 really are. Only to discover that they are not in fact the Great Witch Bezella. I'm saying there's a possibility that these 2 are somehow related to Bezella. The court will now announce its thoughts of the matter. I must say what Inquisitor Layton has stated, it certainly does ring true. However, Lady Darklaw, I have one question I must ask you. What exactly were you hoping to accomplish here tonight? I assure you, that was not my intent to deceive the good citizens of Labyrinthia. However, I must now reveal the truth to you all. What did she say? You don't think Lady Darklaw is in league with the witches, do you? She can't be. She was the one that sought to do other witches' demise. Lady Darklaw, are you saying that you are... That's right, my lord. I'm a shade. A shade? Lady Darklaw, can you please tell the court exactly what you mean when you say shade? Yes, of course, I grow wary of standing behind this bench. I will tell you all I can. What the heck is she trying to pull? Why testify about something that could potentially undermine your credibility? Shades live outside the realm of those who dwell within Labyrinthia. I am known as the Great Witch. Those that are put to the flames in the Witch Trial become shades who live their lives in the woods. We exist to carry a task given out to us by our mistress, the Great Witch herself. I'm not a witch, nor am I a wandering spirit. What on earth? How English the Dark Law? Do you mean to say that not only are you a witch, but that you're the Great Witch? Unbelievable. The Dark Law is the Great Witch. The Great Witch? Doesn't that mean she's Bezella? That's right, the Dark Law is Bezella. I do hope you have not forgotten what we established only moments ago. It is not possible for Miss Darklaw to be Bezella. But Inquisitor Layton, surely the testimony just now proves it. I'm afraid that in the heat of such revelations, you have all misheard the information. It is pointless. This is the extent of what the people at this time will believe. I believe the truth will become clear during our cross-examination. Don't you agree, Mr. Wright?
Hold it!
Great Witch. Yes, that's right. However, I'm not Bezella. The mistress told to those who dwell in the Elvish woods is not the Great Witch. Even if I wanted to be Bezella, I couldn't, as the ever so charming Inquisitor stated earlier, I can't use magic. Miss Darklaw, I have one question. What do you mean by live outside the realm? I mean just that, Inquisitor. We truly do live in a realm separate from this town. Now surely one as intelligent as yourself has worked out the answer by now, no? Perhaps that remains to be seen, Miss Darklaw. Regardless, this is something we cannot discuss with anyone, but it is something that the defense should be able to prove. It almost sounds like a challenge. By the way, Miss Darklaw, since you are not an actual witch, why do you continue to be called that? To answer that, I must first discuss the true identity of the Shades.
Hold it!
You're saying that the Kira here right now is a shade version of the Kira from before. Indeed, Defender. The girl has no recollection of her prior life prior to living in those woods. What manner of nature is this? Why is this girl Kira the flower seller was cast right to the flames before our very eyes? That's right, Your Honor, but as you can see, she didn't die. You see, there's actually a trick to the incineration device in the Witcher's court. A trick? Once the verdict has been delivered, the court attendants move the steel cage into the position, after which the seal is shut. Then the cage is dropped down into a pit of fire. The bottom of the cage then opens, allowing the witch inside to escape unharmed into an underground passage. If what you're saying is true, Defender, then what of this town's witch purging history? What has been the purpose of all this? You and the knights have indeed been reading Labyrinth of Witches, however. Nary a single life has been taken in the process. That is the reality. But you cannot truly expect me to believe such a ridiculous notion. Your Honor, it's true. Take a good look. Take a good hard look. It doesn't get any more alive than this. Ah, it's you. Hiya, May. Well, it's actually my affair, your forgetfulness. What the heck are you doing? No one's gonna recognize you. Yeah, but seeing is believing, Nick. Now they have to believe you. Do you see? Are you satisfied? All those found guilty in the witch trials lose their names, magic, and memory. They are then sent to spend their lives as shades in the Eldritch Woods. And the mistress of those shades is the Great Witch. As you can see, this girl too has become a shade. I have no more words to express my utter disbelief at the situation. It's enough. Shall we return to the testimony? Or do I have the feeling things are going to get a lot worse?
Hold it!
These tests you mentioned, were you acting on them this evening? Yes, I was told to come here and become Bizella. Wait just a moment, witness. You just say become Bizella. Am I absolutely dreadful? How would anyone be given such a tailor for a task? Where have these shades come from? Order, order! I'm sorry, I don't know why I was given such a task. All I can do is follow the orders I am given. If I can do that, then I can return. What do you mean, you can return? What is the nature of the shades? Neither human nor witch, there is an existence spent in the shadows. Each of the shades is given specific tasks. Then, upon successfully completing such a tasks, they are allowed to return to Labyrinthia as a brand new people. But the Lady Dark Law, how can they return as a brand new citizens? And we already know who they were, for instance. We all recognize the former flower city standing before us. Now that, my lord, remains a secret, but a secret you will come to understand sooner rather than later. Simply baffling. The one who gives us our task is the Great Witch. That would be you, Lady Darklaw. I mean, our Magnificent One. While this explanation is fraught with much I cannot comprehend, I request the witness be added to the testimony.
Hold it!
So about this task, can you give us any other examples? Shade's task must never be discussed with others, no matter what. She says that even though she just finished telling us all about her secret task. Incidentally, do you perhaps remember when you arrived back in town to carry out your orders? Well, not really, my memory is still a little fuzzy. Say, didn't Carol just recently become one of those shade thingies? Still, I felt in my task tonight. Come to think of it, when Luke and I had our little run-in with Kira. I remember being blown clear across the marketplace, but I never saw any explosive or gunpowder. Maybe she was given the task of blowing you to smithereens, Nick. And we're done. Getting back to this testimony. Sure, there's something here that just doesn't add up.
Hold it!
You don't have any recollection of your old flower selling self, do you? I don't. When a witch becomes a shade, they lose all memory of their past life. They lose their memories, but why? And yet you still have some grasp of the concept of magic, do you not, witness? Let me spell it out for you. Magic does not exist in the Eldritch Wood. Let me have a bathroom break. Let me spell it out for you. Magic does not exist in the Eldritch Woods. Oh, but there's actually lots of things back in the forest that I have not seen in this town. There are things that we haven't seen here. Like really huge machines, that sort of thing. It's one that spits out fire with such amazing speed and then it expels these huge plumes of grey smoke. A machine that spits fire? Never have I heard of such a thing. So that these machines of which you speak are not simply magic. You know, not to mention it. I don't think anyone from this town can actually see those of us in the forest. They can't see you. Could it be something like that, bro? I don't think it even be possible without magic.
Objection!
Mr. Duckler, if I may interrupt for just a moment. What is it, Inquisitor Layton? Through your testimony just now, we have all come to understand the process of how one becomes a shade. However, I was hoping you could perhaps elaborate on one additional point. Namely, what exactly is the purpose behind the shades? If you wish to know our purpose, then there are certain other things you must first understand. Once you've done that, the answer should be quite clear. Is that right, Defender? Purpose behind the shades? Mr. Sheriff, you will not get the answer from me. As the saying goes, the wish is in your court, Defender. Sounds like Darklaw's challenging me to figure this out. Challenge accepted. There is but one true purpose for the shades of the well within this Eldritch. Did I already... Wait.
Objection!
Something that doesn't exist. I have a feeling no one is going to like the answer I'm about to give, and will probably end up shaking this town to its core. But I got to tell them the truth has to come out. Since I arrived here in Labyrinthia, there's been no shortage of really strange events. Ignites, Dimir, Goldor, now Grandworm. The mere command of magic is in itself a crime, is it not? In this town, witches are arrested and made to participate in witch trials. They are then sentenced to death by fire. But none of those witches actually died. Let's suppose death by fire wasn't real. And neither is magic. It doesn't really exist. What are you saying, Defender? The Eldritch Woods apparently contain some rather large machines unlike anything that exists within Labyrinthia. Machines that emit fire and produce large plumes of smoke. To top it all off, the citizens of Labyrinthia are not able to see like machines. Sounds like nothing more than magic. Yes, that's exactly it, Your Honor. Miss Darklaw, magic doesn't really exist in this town. That's the answer, isn't it? Magic does not... What other nonsense? It seems we have finally arrived at the stunning conclusion. The secret behind Labyrinthia. What? Order, I say. What is the meaning of this? It means that all of the magic you've seen in this town is nothing more than an illusion created and put into motion by the shades. But Defender, witches, we have clearly seen them use magic. Let us take a moment to think carefully about the systems employed by the shades. Systems? What is the essential in order for a witch to use magic? The witch must possess a Talia Magica and must say an incantation in order to cast a spell. And the spells able to be cast are determined by the Scepter's magic gem. Now, what do you think is the purpose of placing the requirements on the use of magic? What do you mean, purpose? These requirements are not there to allow the user to cast magic. Rather, the reality is they are there to inform the shades of who should be using magic. It's possible that witches have always been closely observed by the shades. That's why they have donned these robes to appear hidden until they were needed to create magic. Create? Indeed, there are all kinds of spells within this tomb. It would be quite troublesome if they were simply allowed to use any spell at will. Yeah, it would make the Shade's job that much more difficult for sure. Precisely so, that is why it was imperative that a certain restriction to be placed on the use of magic. You're referring to Italia Machika, right, Professor? Of course, no wonder the scepter could only contain 2 magic gems. Then there's the incantation. What would happen if a witch could simply whisper the incantation quietly to herself? Not even say it at all. Boy, that'd be so cool. I'd be casting spells all day long and no one would ever see it coming. Maya, we spent an entire trial proving that you weren't a witch, remember? Witches didn't keep some sort of signal. And there would be no way for the shades to know when to cast a spell. Right, you are, Mr. Wright. Incantations were a way of telling the shades when the witch was ready to use magic. What on earth? Where did I think these requirements could have such a purpose? Now, let's think back to the previous events leading up to today that have me involved magic. Our first encounter with magic was the use of the spell Ignite a few nights ago. A spell like this. It's nothing more than a flame spewed from a machine being used by the shades. And that means Demir. A spell that makes the caster disappear, no doubt about it. Must have been this rope. Next is the incident with Cold Door, the spell that transmuted me into a cold statue. While I understand this may sound a bit absurd, I can only surmise that the shades create a gold statue in my image that took me and left it in my place. The instant the incantation was uttered. Professor, it's no more absurd than anything else that's been so far. We can therefore conclude that all of the magic in Labyrinth was created in a similar way. What do you say to that, Miss Darklaw? I'd expected nothing less from you, Inquisitor Layton. At any given time, there were between 5 and 10 witches in town. All of the witches were accompanied by shades at all times. It's easier than you would think. You see the shades living in the witch woods to total in the hundreds. Simply a matter of having each of the shades operate in shifts in order to watch over each of the witches within the town. But still, Lady Darklaw, that is quite a number of shades. It was not only those who fell victims to his flames that were turned into shades, but their victims too were made permanent residents of the Elvish Woods. Then, those 2 shady thieves from before were turned into shades. Yes, you mean Robs and Mox. Despite their devious appearance, those 2 were a couple of my best shades. Shady thieves turn into shades, this stuff writes itself. Cannot believe what I have heard. However, there's still one thing I do not understand just yet. And what would that be? As has just been explained, we have established that there is no possibility of magic being real. But replacing me with a gold statue to give the illusion of transmutation, for example, while it sounds simple enough, I myself and presumably also Miss Faye have no recollection of this replacement actually taking place. Hey, that's right, the professor got all bling-blingy before I could even bat an eye. Begs the question, how and when was that statue created, let alone used to replace me? That is true. Same goes for Gold Door. It's supposed to create a portal between 2 green-colored walls. Perhaps that is exactly why the spell can only work on green walls, Mr. Wright. Still, impossible for the shades to get those portals ready so quickly. I agree. If you take a moment to think, you can see that all of these spells have one strange thing in common. A thing in common? Yes, indeed. Almost as if some time between the start and end of the incident was unaccounted for. Furthermore, any memory I might have had regarding the incident seems to have simply disappeared in the process. Got it, Nick. It's just like what happened to Kira. She's got absolutely no memory of her life in Labyrinth before that trial, right? Yes, I do not remember this Kira you speak of. And oh yeah, it made me really think about it. Since it seems super weird how the shades are able to return to the town if they complete their tasks. You're right, Maya. I mean, the townsfolk are bound to remember some things about them, right? Like how Miss Kira here threw a major hissy fit in court and was barbecued for being a witch. Elegantly put, Mr. Wright. Hence, we cannot yet conclude that this entire illusion was primarily accomplished through the use of the machinery. Simply put, there must have been some way of affecting the memories of all those within the confines of this town. Missing time and lost memories. Now that is interesting, Inquisitor. You're correct. There is in fact a secret that lies within the depths of the Eldritch Woods. Something that the people of this town cannot see. Something that can rob people of their time and memories. This is the very thing that connects all of what you have heard tonight. This is a secret of monumental proportions. And let me guess. This is a secret that cannot be revealed by the mistress of the Eldritch Woods. Is that right? Yes, an excellent deduction, Defender. It just souls wander astray within the Eldritch Woods. Till tonight I thought this nothing but a mere fairy tale told to children. But it has become clear that a seemingly large organization lies within that forest. The Witch's Court is the border between this world and the other world. And that means, in this world you're Labyrinthia's High Inquisitor, while also being a mistress to the shades in the other world, otherwise known as the Great Witch. May I intervene for just a moment, Mr. Wright? Sure. In all honesty, there is still something that sticks out like as a little odd. Particularly in Miss Darklaw's previous testimony. Did you say the previous testimony? I already pushed that out of my head. There was one vital truth that we managed to take away from that testimony. You mean that magic does not truly exist in Labyrinthia? Indeed, quite the vital, albeit shocking truth. However, there is one more truth hidden within that same testimony. There's something else in the testimony. Must have checked the court record more times than I can count, but I didn't find a single other contradiction. Have you forgotten already, Mr. Wright? Then there's no evidence left. We have but one more weapon at our disposal with which to uncover the truth. Oh hey, I got it, Nick. Remember in a witch trial you can cross-examine two witnesses at the same time? Hey, that's right, I completely forgot. You have to have a look at those testimonies side by side. Is bound to turn up a contradiction somewhere. That contradiction should provide us with a much-needed clue. I'm not entirely sure where the professor is going with this, but believe in his judgment. Besides, if we are going to blow this case wide open, it's got to be worth a shot. Very well, we will not take a closer look at Lady Darklaw's previous testimony. This is it, Miss Darklaw's previous testimony. There is a glaring contradiction between this piece of a testimony and the other. Read it yourself, Mr. Wright. Damn.
Objection!
Objection! Your Honor, there's obviously a huge discrepancy between these two pieces of testimony. Miss Darklaw stated that she is known as the Great Witch. However, according to Miss Kira's testimony, Miss Darklaw was her venerable mistress, the Great Witch. That is correct. She was the Great Witch, note Miss Kira's use of the past tense. Was. Past tense. I'm afraid my grammar is not quite what it used to be. May I ask what you mean? Simple, Miss Darklaw was mistress to the Shades, or as they also called her, the Great Witch. Therefore, she is no longer the Great Witch. She is not the Great Witch. Witness, is this true? Huh? As you have heard, my lord, I relinquished my position as the Great Witch in order to fulfill the objective of this task. What would that objective be again? That would be the assassination of the storyteller, Your Honor. Yes, at the beginning of this trial you stated you came to town in order to complete your task, didn't you? What's more, you said that you were going to summon the fire dragon to do it. Now this task, it wasn't Miss Darklaw. It wasn't Miss Darklaw here that gave it to you, was it? No, it wasn't. But the most pressing question is, who was to give you the task? Who told you to come to Labyrinthia and assassinate the storyteller? I cannot tell you, no matter what. Alright, so Darklaw isn't the Great Witch anymore. Which must mean the mastermind behind this entire thing is... It would seem the defense has worked it out as well. Mr. Wright, you know who really gave Miss Kira her test tonight, didn't you not? Defender. Okay. Storyteller himself, man.
Take that!
Storyteller. You're talking about someone with the authority and power to replace the Great Witch, someone with who caused the shot. I can't think of anyone else that meets those criteria except for the storyteller himself. Preposterous, then that would mean... Exactly, Your Honor. It means that the storyteller gave this final task to Kira himself. He was in short responsible for his own assassination. But for what purpose? Would he plan his own assassination? That I cannot say, Your Honor. However, the final chapter of the story does tell of his innumerable death. While he assigned this task to Kira himself, it is perfectly unnatural that he would do so. However, what is that natural? It's your behavior tonight, Miss Darklaw. What was unnatural about the High Inquisitor's behavior? He once the head of all the Shades, and yet tonight you tried to interfere with the storyteller's plan. You rendered Miss Kira's unconscious and locked her away in the belfry of the bell tower. That to me seems like the activity of someone aiming to put a stop to his plan altogether. Indeed, Lady Darklaw, what would be the reason for such behavior? Leave that to you, Mr. Wright. Based on what we have seen in this trial, the defense believes Miss Darklaw's reason for covering up her actions tonight can only be attributed to one thing. This plan was handed down by the storyteller himself, and Miss Darklaw was definitely aiming to put a wrench in it, but why? He tried to sabotage. It's either sabotage or betray. Betray? There's one possible reason I can think of as to why Miss Darklaw had to hide her actions tonight. She was aiming to betray the storyteller. Betray the storyteller? I agree, Mr. Wright. The storyteller used the Great Witch Misella to take his own life. The instructions to carry out the plan were given to Miss Kira, however, Miss Darklaw was planned to intervene and change the scenario at the very last minute. She planned to do so by changing the identity of the Great Witch from Miss Kira to Miss Cannabella. Thus bringing us to our current situation, Miss Cannabella on trial for the murder of her father at the hands of Misella. You, Miss Darklaw, seem to harbor a rather strong hatred for the storyteller, if I'm not mistaken. Hatred, you say? Yes, I suppose you could call it that. That's right. Behold my revenge. Did you say revenge? Miss Darklaw, will you please tell the court of your plan for revenge? If you insist. The Inquisitor and also the Great Witch. Long have I donned those two masks, one as a labyrinth's protector, the other its harbinger of destruction. In other words, I was merely meant to serve him. And yet, he sought to selflessly pen the ending of the story under his own terms. He did not care enough about me, or any of the townspeople, to allow us to dignity deciding our own fate. Indeed, what we witnessed tonight was the cowardly act of a man looking for an easy way to end that which he could not properly finish. He cared for no one but himself, hence the sullen sham of an ending. And for that, we never forgive him. What do you mean by sham of an ending? The Great Witch Misella is to summon a great dragon of fire in the life of the Creator. She will then be put on trial and judged, thus heralding a period of peace and prosperity for all of Labyrinthia. Such is the ending written for this town and its people. It's not an ending I oppose in principle. Who would not wish a happy ending for their own people? However, the problem lies in Misella's identity. As you know, he assigned the role of the Great Witch to this girl beside me. You're saying that was a falsehood, is that correct? I knew Misella's true identity. This is not something I could ever forget. That is why I went to the bell tower, and it is why I took the accused there. I did it to ensure the true witch, foretold in the story, was given the judgment she was due. The true witch? You don't mean... Yes, I speak of none other than Espella Cannabella.
Objection!
Miss Darklow, there's a glaring contradiction in your statement. And what would that be? It's supposedly common knowledge that Bezella is capable of using all magic. However, that is far from the truth. Magic does not actually exist in this town. It was all one giant illusion created by the Shades. Therefore, the Great Witch Bezella cannot exist either. You fool. You really don't have a clue, do you? But wait just a minute now. If any are not correct, magic does not exist, and it goes without saying that the witches do not exist either. And to that would be include the Great Witch, will it not? That's right. They've been lying to us this whole time. Bastards. Bezella isn't real.
Objection!
Mr. Wright, there is a fundamental mistake in your argument. What do you mean? I have but one simple question. What exactly is Bezella? Huh? Well, she's supposed to be the head of all witches. Allow me to reword the question. Great Witch Bezella is the root of all disaster within Labyrinthia. Knowing that, what specific disaster might she have been the root of? That would be, start something. We've been hearing Bezella's name left and right since we got here, but not once has the real Bezella shown up in person. Date Miss Faye? Bezella herself has been virtually absent from the story thus far. But Inquisitor, did she not claim the life of the storyteller tonight? It appears so, Your Honor. However, there's just one more thing. Consider this, which particular story is every citizen of Labyrinth is most familiar with? That would have to be the legendary fire, right? Precisely. Surely you're not serious, as the name implies that it's but a mere legend. No one knows for certain if it occurred. What they say, but the reality is there are still traces of that terrible fire within the town today. Professor's right, we haven't even seen some of it up close and personal. Yeah, the Great Archive. You are indeed correct, Inquisitor. Littered throughout the town are burned remnants of the fire most fierce. However, no one can say for certain what transpired back then. You see, none of us saw what actually happened. Let me see if I have this straight. There's an entire town full of people and nobody saw what happened. Correct, except for one particular person. What? There's one person who saw everything? I am speaking, of course, of the responsible for the fire itself, the Great Witch Bezella. Yes. I remember it. All of it. Espella, what are you saying? When I close my eyes, I can picture it so vividly. The awful sight of the flames, engulfing everything they touched. The scorching heat on my skin, the smell of burning cinder all around me. The large plumes of black smoke, the warm tears streaming down my face. I remember it, all. What you are recalling now is the moment the Great Witch Bezella destroyed our town. Well, it appears my role here is finished. As for the rest, I leave it in your capable hands, Inquisitor. Huh? Dracula, she just vanished into thin air. She's right, these memories are proof that I am Bezella. But Espella, is that right? Remember, if you will, what I said at the beginning of this trial. I came here to prove that Espella Candapella is in reality the Great Witch Bezella. Right. There is still one more thing I wish to present to the court. I would now like to call the final witness to the stand. The final witness.
Hold it!
It will appear she has arrived. Ladies and gentlemen of the court, I give you this trial's final witness, the storyteller. Just like that.
Hello, motherfucker.
Hello, spirit! And just like that, he appeared, the man who died not hours before. And the victim of this very trial, the storyteller himself. Professor sure chose one heck of a final witness. I see Layton is prosecuting. He sure is. Morning's drawing closer and closer. How this trial will end is anyone's guess. We just found out that magic is not real, Spirit. Magic in this world is all fake. It's not real. Oh, yeah. It's the people of the Shades. Shades, right? The one with the ropes. And so they can turn... They got the invisibility rope. And you know... Yeah, that's when I decide this whole game is bullshit. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. A very bra moment. Epilogue, the first story, alright. Like, the explanation behind the match is more nonsense than just its magic. Yeah, it's fucking dumb. I don't quite know what to say. I am truly shocked. To see the storyteller again, alive and well. This was unexpected by me too, as I did not plan to appear before you all again. I was convinced that you would all see the last of me at the parade. But this is the trial for your murder. And you are alive. Yeah, see, no one was killed, so let's call this whole thing off and never have witch trials again. Whoa, Maya, take it easy. We're still in court, remember? But what's the point of this? The storyteller wasn't killed. Stella would never do anything to harm her dad.
Objection!
If only it was as simple as that to end this trial, however it is not, Miss Faye. But, Professor, you expect me to believe no one noticed enough time passing for people to come in and make a portal? And someone uses Kodo? Yeah, there's like no matter how fast you can miss, there's no way. And how did they make a fucking gold statue of Layton so fast? Search your memory and you will know the reason why the crime Miss Cannabella is accused of is not just murder. And how the hell did you carry that thing? Not see it? People carrying, you know? Like, they may be invisible, the people, the shades, but like, I don't think the material will be invisible. The purpose of the witches' court is to sentence the witches for what they are. Isn't that right, Mr. Storyteller? I fully intend to expose the true identity of Bizella. This would not be possible without you, Mr. Storyteller, on the witness stand. I see. And so you assume the role of an inquisitor just to lure me here. Be that as it may, the Inquisition still maintains that. Spera Cannabella is the great witch Bezella. And this is a world where spirit channeling is real, so why not more magic? Yeah, we literally summon... We're already in a book, right? So, like... We're already in a book, so why cannot there be, like, really magic? We're already inside the book. Dad. It's been a long time, Espella. 4 years, in fact. You must experience many hardships living among the townsfolk. This daughter of mine never fits in with the others, no matter how hard she tries. There's already an invisibility cloak. There's already a guy who can write fucking stories, rewrite the history, or present, the past, the future. Nah, you're not in a book. You're just in a Danny's parking lot. No, it wasn't quite like that. There were people who supported me. Aunt Patty was very kind. The customers who came to our bakery were nice to me. Happy to hear that. I want to watch over you ever since you left for the town. When in the end I failed to do so, I had no idea of what was happening to you. I am very sorry, Spella. Oh, Daddy. Oh, Dad, you don't need to apologize to me or for anything. It's me that owes you an apology. I was trying to hurt you. It's all my fault, not yours. There's no reason for you to blame yourself. Dad, I'm happy we got to talk. Spella, you're so busy with writing everyone's stories that we stopped talking to each other. Before it was different, you used to have time for me. Please forgive me. Why did it have to come to this? Mr. Storyteller, it's time to put everything in order now. Townsfolk and your daughter deserve to know the truth. The truth about yourself and the story. Yes, I suppose it is time that I told you the truth. The truth! Your Honor! Yes, Mr. Storyteller. Let's begin. This trial, I shall be judge. Understood. The witness shall testify. People of Labyrinthia who have gathered in this court, I will now tell you the true story. Many of you will certainly find it hard to believe, difficult and to accept. Nevertheless, I ask you to please lend me an ear and listen to with open minds. Espella, my dear daughter, I ask you to do the same too. Okay, let's hear it. Let's hear it. The truth about Labyrinthia. Although you know me as the storyteller, I have one more identity. I am the president of Labor Room Inc. What? What now? This whole town is one of Labor Room's research facilities. Huh? It may be hard for you to comprehend. What the? This land is rich in a very special substance which affects everyone who lives here. This substance enables the manipulation of people's minds, and that is what the Labor Room is researching. This experiment began 10 years ago. The townsfolk all became test subjects. I don't understand. What does it all mean? I don't quite understand what I have just heard. I don't blame you. I suppose all the townsfolk are just as confused. Labyrinthia is an artificial town created entirely by me. Bruh! But of course, an artificial as it may be, it is the reality for those that live here. For the past 10 years, I have been bringing the illusion to life by writing the story. I am lost for words. It feels as if the whole world has been turned on its head. Your Honor, it is certainly not an easy matter to grasp this new situation at once. Regardless, I suggest we hear more of what the witness has to say. Yes, I agree. Let's continue. Thank you, Your Honor. Oh, I gotta... Okay.
Hold it!
It's too much. I don't even know where to start. Labor Room Inc., that's a name I have heard before, is a global pharmaceutical company with headquarters in England. If my memory serves me right, it was founded by Arthur Cantabella. Arthur? Indeed, that is my true name. Are you familiar with that, Mr. Wright? Sure, yeah, I heard of a Labor Room Inc., of course. Labor Room Inc. is known for developing a completely harmless anesthetic about 20 years ago. It's now widely used in hospitals all around the world. The company is also working on various other plant-derived sedatives to revolutionizing medicine. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised by your vast knowledge, Mr. Layton.
Objection!
That's irrelevant. That fact is just based on the real world we are from, not Labyrinthia. The real world, Mr. Wright. Then what would you call the world we are in now? Do you think this is a fantasy? No, that's not quite what I meant. Mr. Wright, I do not mean to be so rude as to presume I know what thoughts are running through your head. However, Labyrinthia is certainly not a place within a book or in the past. Labyrinthia is a part of the world we know. Huh? But how could a town like this exist in the real world? Do you think it's impossible? Why would that be? Are you saying that everyone would know about an unusual town like this if it existed? It's something like that anyway. It would be on a map at least. No, I'm afraid that cannot be so. Huh? This town is not marked on any map. It doesn't officially exist. What do you mean? The answer is quite simple. He's a rich bitch guy. He's got money.
Hold it!
He's got money and everything. This whole town is a research facility. It's underground maybe or somewhere, I don't know. Yes, this whole area is a private property of Labor Room Inc. This is so stupid. So they own all of this land then. That is why Labyrinth is not marked on any map and people from the outside cannot enter. So I bet this it's like a I don't know, it's like an AOT in a way, but with a lot of surveillance. Probably they have surveillance, you know, to see people not entering, and you're taking the measures to ensure that this town is not noticed by the local residents. Yeah, To be honest, this is what made me decide if Layton games are like this, then I have no interest in playing them. Oh! I can assure you they are not like this. It's just this. What measures are you talking about? Consider the fact that magic is supposed to exist in this town. Perhaps a special... That's good to hear. Perhaps special mechanisms that were used to create magic also serve to conceal labyrinth. Although this kind of plot resembles the time travel one. In a way, I think. Or maybe not. I don't forgot. There are limits to what magic the shades are capable of producing on their own after all. That is the case indeed. The magic in this town has been made feasible only owing to the latest technology. Technology? Tricks? I can't believe this. However, there's one question. There's no industry in Labyrinthia. How do you obtain the necessary commodities? Very observant, aren't you? All commodities are regularly shipped in by sea. A young man once made his way here on a freighter and took a spell out of the town. Oh, it's our Carmine. Accidenti. That was Carmine Accidenti, a friend of mine. I see. Is something on this scale really possible? As you might suspect, it would be beyond the power of Labor Room Inc. to keep a facility this size a secret for so long. Labyrinth is a project co-funded by the British government. British government? What? It's a government project, but what would be their stake in this? If the government is involved, it's all because of my beliefs. His beliefs. By the way, yes, Your Honor. What is the research facility? I've never heard of anything like that before. Yes, that was careless of me. Naturally, you wouldn't know what it means. I should explain. This whole town is my creation. That's what it was about. In other words, it's all your story. That makes it all clear. Swing and a miss, Your Honor. Getting back to the topic, there's an important reason why we have chosen to build such a facility here. Okay.
Hold it!
Special substance, what does it actually do? This area has been isolated since ancient times, developing its own unique culture. There are underground ruins on the verge of the town. We have found writings there, presumably left by the natives of this land. The bell that was supposed to be there was missing. You have seen the ruins. I suspected that you would find them. Then perhaps you have also noticed that everyone who lives here has a very peculiar condition. Peculiar condition, you say? I can't just sit here quietly like a patient old man when you were saying such a thing. What kind of condition is it? You have every right to know. This condition makes people fall unconscious upon the sound of a certain metal being struck. The bell? The metal? What kind of metal? Pure silver? And so there's not a single object made of silver in Labyrinthia. Now that I think of it, that's true. Just imagine what a disaster a fancy dinner would be if everyone fainted whenever they use a silver cutlery. This condition is an integral part of magic. How so? All inhabitants of Eldritch Woods carry small silver bells. Ah! I see now. Shades ring the bells when they need to create the illusion of magic. Everyone present fall unconscious and the shades set to their work. Okay. Sleep! Shh! Ding ding ding, sleep guys! They got a sleeping bell. Oh, look at where that shade's hand was. So that's the secret of the time-stealing magic Dark Lord told us about. Now that they mentioned it. Kira had a small bell with her when we saw her back at the marketplace. We have been researching this condition at Labor Room Inc. Finally, we discovered that its cause it was the groundwater. Water causes it. The groundwater contains a certain unique substance found in the soil in this area. So if you drink that water, you get this silver allergy thing. But of course, we've been drinking it. It's impossible to live without water. Of course, that's why everyone who lives here has that condition. Oh dear. You need worry, this condition is harmless, especially as silver is unknown to the townsfolk. Something is still not quite right though. The sound of silver bells makes people pass out. Why don't the shades pass out too? Although the effects of the substance in the groundwater is powerful, it doesn't last long. The condition will vanish after a day or so without drinking that water. That's convenient. Substance effects are limited to humans. It can also affect plants to a great extent. Plants are affected by it. Research must focus on the plants rather than humans. That's convenient. Yep, it sure is. That sounds really scary. Just what is this about? Substance enters the groundwater, affecting the organism that consumes it. People who drink it daily acquire that odd condition. They fall unconscious upon hearing the sound of silver metal. Yes, although the substance in the groundwater also has a tremendous effect on plants. The wildflowers in this area contains a certain poison. Although my beer poison, this poison doesn't harm the body, it has the effect of manipulating the mind. So it brainwashes people. I've been writing the story for 10 years. The title of the story is Historia Labyrinthia. The ink I used to write it was made from those plants. Oh, Nick, do you remember how funny the ink smelled? That was the gas released when the ink evaporates, and that's where the trick is. What? Those that inhale the gas become extremely susceptible to suggestion. You mean brainwashing? They will believe anything they are told or anything they read, however strange or unrealistic. Oh, is that how they freaking Isabella got brainwashed? You'll be imprinted into their minds as the truth. But that was the true purpose of the parades. Page of the story, written in that special ink, were regularly distributed among the townspeople. It was done so that everyone would be in a state of hypnosis. Indeed, the creation of a fully controlled town with the inhabitants subject to long-term hypnosis, that was one of the topics of our research. Then the story that is written in the Historia Labyrinthia. You could call it a self-fulfilling prophecy realized through the shades work and the hypnotic effect of the ink vapors. Is that how it was all this time? The labor room used hypnosis to control all these people. I can't believe that the government was supporting that. Well, they did. They did. All the people subject to this experiment has been living here all this time. Now we start with just a few people and gradually getting more and more. How did they get more though? Kidnapping? I must say that I am afraid of what the answer to this question might be, but where did these people come from? You haven't resorted to abduction by any chance, have you? Exactly. Of course not. Every test subject signed a contract with labor room. A contract to have their memories erased and be used like pawns in a story. The current inhabitants of this town have one thing in common. They were all dissatisfied with their lives and wanted to start anew. Forgetting about their mistakes, forsaking unwanted identities. There are more people like that out there than you might think. Yeah, that's true. They've all agreed to participate in our research. But that's insane. In a way, it's like a Squid Game in a way. Ish, but, you know, without the killings. That is unreasonable as you suggest. We give them a new identity, a chance to start their life again. In return, they subject themselves to hypnosis and live in this town as our test subjects. In order for this project to be possible, we suppress their memories of the past, including the memory of signing the contract. So ultimately, they are not aware of what is going on. I couldn't agree more. I got no idea what's going on. Let me make this clear, Mr. Wright. We do not erase their memories, we suppress them. They will regain their memories of life before Labyrinthia once their contract is over. So this place was uninhabited before you started this research 10 years ago. And you have managed to keep everyone in a state of hypnosis for 10 years straight. Can you really hypnotize someone for that long? I mean, 10 years is one heck of a long time. It was achieved through the distribution of the story during parades. The ink vapors have a powerful effect, but it won't last 10 years, of course. With each parade, the effect was renewed. That's why the parades took place at the regular intervals. That's the true purpose of that event. Having born and raised here, it was a poor small town with no industry to speak of that had fallen behind the times. Ever since I was a child, I had one friend that was especially close to me. He was a bright boy, curious about the world. His name was Newton Belduke. Sir Newton Belduke, the alchemist. But they were childhood friends. The plot thickens. This is wait, so oh no, he actually killed himself. He had always been an interest. Ah, shit. He had always been interested in the unique natural feature of this land. There was really nothing here, but to us, this area was an exciting place we were exploring. And one day we made an astonishing discovery on the outskirts of the town. Damn, from childhood friends, right? This guy is very old. And, you know, Belduke looked pretty young-ish. We stumbled upon the entrance to the underground cave leading to the colossal ruins. Wow, look at that, Newton. This is so amazing. This strange writing, I have never seen anything like it before. We found ancient writings in the ruins. Newton managed to decode some of them. According to our findings, a highly advanced culture had existed on the land where our little town was built. Some great calamity had befallen the natives and they may migrate elsewhere. They believed the plants and water in that area was cursed by an entity they called the Great Witch Bezella. The natives sealed the curse within the ruins and left in search of a new home. This is all that we managed to decipher. Bezella's curse. It was sealed in the ruins, you say. Would that be the Bell of Ruin? The Bell of Ruin. Well, that's the bell from the bell tower. I wonder why it's got an ominous name like that. Regrettably, we couldn't get any further information from the writings at the time. Needless to say, Newton and I were very excited by the discovery. I knew it. This place is special. It has some kind of mysterious power. If you could find out what that is, our humble town would become famous. You know what? I'm going to do that. I will unravel the mystery of this place. So Newton began studying the indigenous plants and substances that dissolved in the groundwater. On the other hand, I studied economics and management at a university in London. A dream of bringing prosperity to this poor, forgotten town, I wanted to change it for the better with my own hands. Meanwhile, Newton had succeeded at extracting a new anesthetic from the local plants. Was that the anesthetic which led to the foundation of labor? Yes, it was a huge success for Labor Loom and Ink, and before we knew it, we were making a fortune. We wanted the whole world to hear about our hometown. Allah's fate was not kind to us as we never realized the dream. Everyone in our town had died, all the townspeople perished. Huh? Just what on earth happened to them? That does not matter anymore. We purchased the environs of our town, the mountains, the lake, the plains, everything. Then 10 years ago, having received more financial support from the government, we started Project Labyrinthia. It's much smaller in the beginning. It started as no more than a village. Over the course of 10 years, it slowly grew into a town. The population increased as well. More people were signing the contract with the labor room, slowly increasing the number of inhabitants, correct? Yes, they would sign the contract, be hypnotized and assigned to a role, and then be introduced to the world of the story. I have spoken at length. Thank you for patiently listening to my tale. Bezella is the name of a witch from an ancient legend that we read about in the ruins. She's a fictional character, she does not exist. But the magic is just illusion and there are no witches. Alright, so it was all fake. That doesn't make it much better. Why did you write a story where people get killed with magic and witches are thrown into fire? You could have made it a peaceful, pleasant world where everyone would be happy. No, that was not possible. But why? This is a research facility. After all, we are researching ways to completely control human beings. Hey! The subjects need to be exposed to extreme situations, so we decided on a fantasy setting. There are no witches, so a spell is innocent. We can end the trial. GG! We would have got the funding from the government otherwise. In other words, we're running a business. To mind control humans. But just what instructions do you give to the people who you hypnotize? You don't give each of them a full set of memories of their whole fictional life, do you? And it's much more simple than that. We only give them 2 pieces of information. The first one, that they were born in this town, and the second was their new occupation. And they fill in the gaps themselves without being aware of it. The human mind requires a consistent story of one's life. Which means, of course, no Labyrinthian has memories from earlier than 10 years ago. No one has any memories from before they came to Labyrinthia. What are you saying? That's all one big lie. I am who I am. But can't you remember your childhood? I can. That's true. I can't remember even my parents. No way, I can't recall my own mother's face. As you can hear, no one can remember their real past. There are no exceptions. How about a second? No exceptions. I smell a contradiction here. Ah, it seems Mr. Wright too has noticed it now. What are you talking about, Layton? Mr. Cantabella, you have just testified that not a single citizen of this town remembers anything from more than 10 years ago. Yes, that is the truth. Now, that's a strange assertion, especially coming from you. What? What do you mean? There's one person in this town who remembers what happened more than 10 years ago? That kind of bit is impossible. They must be merely imagining things now. Mr. Wright, please enlighten us all. Who is this person that remembers their past? It's Espella.
Take that!
Precisely, Mr. Wright, that person is none other than Espella Cantapella. What? That is impossible. It's true, Dad. I remember it clearly as if it happened yesterday. The legendary fire. No, that's impossible. It's just your imagination, Espella. No, it's not. I couldn't remember it before, but it all came back to me because I'm Bizella. No, Espella. There are no witches. That fire was just a bad dream. The Inquisition would like to call Espella Candapella to testify. What? Regardless whether Miss Candapella is Bizella or not, her memories may contain valuable clues. Yes, that may be so. No, wait. I agree to this. This trial is over, Your Honor.
Objection!
Objection! You seem to be forgetting something, Mr. Candabella. Your story has ended. You are no longer in control. You are merely one of the characters. And this is also why we will not cease seeking the truth until we find it. Fans, what is your opinion on this? Spella keeps insisting that she's the witch Bizella. As her attorney, I should refuse to let her speak to the court. But what's really important now is finding the truth, just as Layton said. So one way to proceed with this trial, and that's by questioning Miss Cantabella about her memories. In that case, the court summons Espella Cantabella as a witness. Attendants, bring the accused to the witness stand. Bring her in! Now, witness. Testify about your memories of the legendary fire. Yes, my lord. I was just a little girl then. It happened during the annual Fire Festival. Everyone was gathered in the town square for the Fire Festival and I was watching them from the bell tower. The Great Witch Bezella woke within me and brought the calamity upon the town. A nervous fire dragon appeared. I was trembling with fear, terrified by what I had summoned. The Grand Worm? Witness, what have you told us? Was it a bad dream or a fairy tale, but what you actually experienced? Yes, it was, like I have already said. Remember it very clearly, the heat from the fire, the smell of smoke. Spella, what are you talking about? Thank you, Honor. Was there really a huge fire that destroyed the town? And what about Misella? Is she even real? The answer are in Ispella's testimony. Okay, let's see. I'm just gonna press them all, baby. I don't know. First thing I wanna know about the, was there really a dragon?
Hold it!
Was there really a dragon or not? Probably not. Can you tell me more about that fire dragon? That monster's image is still so vivid. Look, just like the one that attacked Dad this evening. I have done something terrible again. Then you are sure that the fire dragon you saw more than 10 years ago and the one summoned this evening are exactly the same? Yes, they were definitely the same. Hey, hey, hey!
Hang on!
Hang on! Something wrong, Mr. Candlebella? It's impossible. There's no such thing as magic. You never believed me, Dad. I don't know why you have to be like this. There was a time when things were different. Espel, what are you saying? Look at them. It's like a common argument between a teenager and a parent. Mr. Candebella created this town. He knows better than anyone else that there's no magic here. Miss Candebella. Yes, would you mind giving us more detail of what you saw? Can I borrow a sheet of parchment and a pencil? I think it'll be better if I draw it. The request shall be granted. Bring parchment and pencil for the witness immediately. Okay, let's see this. Okay, I don't see any odd about it. The tail maybe? This is it? This is the fire jacket that I saw that night. I only caught a glimpse of it, but it was real. I must say, that's closely resembled the supposedly magical creature that we witnessed this evening. Because indeed, this drawing shall be added to the evidence. It's a farce. What's happened over a decade ago? Was the town really destroyed by a fire dragon? Discovering the truth about the dragon shall be our next objective. Okay. Hey. The great witch walk within you?
Hold
Let me
it!
see this. You remember casting a spell? I cannot remember. Hey, what the hell?
Hang on!
You look upset, Mr. Candebella. Pardon me. Did you want something? I'd like to know what you think about Espella's last statement. My opinion about all of this has not changed since last time. It's all just a dream. Listen to me, Espella. You are not Bezella. There was no legendary fire. Dad, you have no idea how much I want to believe you, but I just can't. I remember what I saw and how it felt, the heat, the smoke. Magic doesn't exist. It belongs in fairy tales. There are no fire dragons either. Spella seems certain that she saw a fire dragon at the time. However, as long as we do not have any evidence to support or disapprove this claim, we can't make any progress. Do you have any relevant evidence? I mean, we got the sketch. Your Honor, what is it, Defender? The defense will present evidence? Evidence, I suppose you mean evidence that will prove that my other memories of the dragon amount to nothing more than a wild imagination. The contrary, she caused the great fire of thunder. Put her! Burn her then, we're gonna burn her. I'm pretty impressed I did see the dragon. What, I thought you had more sense in you. Okay, well, I'm all curious about what the defense has got to show us. It's gonna be the sketch. I mean, I got this dragon sketch.
Take that!
It is, of course, Espella's drawing of the dragon. It's impossible to draw a dragon with so much detail unless you've actually seen it. I mean, you can use your mind, you know, your artistic trait, you know. Drawing a dragon can't be that hard. If you're an artist. It looks very much like the fire dragon we saw this evening. Can that be a mere coincidence? You can't possibly use that drawing as evidence. And why not? Because she could have just drawn the dragon from this evening. Yeah, why don't you believe me? I saw the dragon when I was a little. This town is my creation. I know everything about it, and I assure you there's no magic. If there's anyone who can tell you what's possible and what is not, it is me, the creative Labyrinthia. You are overconfident. As It's clouded your judgment and is preventing you from seeing the truth. What do you mean? In order to see what is really there, you need to reject biased assumptions and keep an open mind. You're overlooking certain facts precisely because you are the creator of this town. It's nothing short of insanity. Magic doesn't exist, and yet Espella says she saw a fire dragon. It seems like a contradiction, but perhaps it is not. Mr. Wright? Yes? Solution to this mystery is out there, we just need to find it. You suppose you know where it is? Magic doesn't exist. Espella saw a fire dragon, rarest evidence that bridges the gap between the two. The car, I don't have it, in the belfry. It's the town itself? Espella was watching the town burn at that time. She says she saw an enormous fire dragon now. If you put the two together, I think our best guess is that the dragon she saw was this town itself. Town? This town? In other words, Espella saw a dragon shape looming over the burning town. How absurd. It's a mere speculation. Maybe it was a hot balloon dragon shape. I will dispute that, however, it is entirely possible to test our theory. What and how would you go about doing that? It's all quite simple, Mr. Storyteller. We'll now go to the belfry. Maybe we'll find that fire dragon there. Oh! Nani? Okay. Over 10 years ago. The witness was standing somewhere around here when she saw a fire dragon, am I correct? Yes, Mr. Layton. However, what was it that you actually saw then? Let's see if we can find the answer to that question. Why not? Go ahead and try, but I have warned you that it's futile. You will find nothing here. Well, it happened a long time ago. Whatever she saw might not be there anymore. Dang, I forgot how long it keeps going after the real everything was bogus. Yeah, it keeps going, man. It's only 2 hours. I didn't expect it to be this long, man. And if we want to see exactly what she saw at the time, we'll need to set the whole town on fire. Want me to go get matches? I may be an attorney, but even I couldn't clear you out of the charges if you actually committed such a crime, Maya. We'll pretend I did not hear that. Shall we begin? Okay. Can't see shit. Let's look for the fire dragon. You see the whole town from here. I can't see shit. Look in the right direction for something that would resemble Miss Canterbella's drawing. I can't see shit, man. Your Honor, my client burned the whole town because he would be mad. Oh my god, is it that one? Oh my god, she's... Are you... What do you think? I don't know. Doesn't look like the dragon is saw. I was right, not right. Oh, isn't it? Seems so, unfortunately. Is not that it? Damn, it wasn't that, huh? Hey! I can't... It kind of look like to me. Okay. That kind of looked like for a bit there, but I guess not. Oh, I can turn around. That is probably not it. Hey, it's gonna be the pictures, one of them, right? Let me see. That may be it, maybe? It's a different one.
Take that!
I don't know, it doesn't look like... Okay, it's not that one, bitch. Oh! It's not that one. Got that one. Do you see something I'm not seeing? Because I can't see shit. Oh, maybe. I already tried that. Maybe it's out there. Where is the dragon, this? Oh, what the hell?
Take that!
Okay, have a look at this. It looks like the dragon was hiding in here after all. Oh, this is... Okay, that's it. Better go to the one I spell it through. But it's not the fire dragon. The fire dragon was a creature made of the flames. It was so big it could have swallowed this whole tower. This is just some tiny fretwork. Maybe we can consider this mystery solved. Suggest we all head back to the court. I will explain everything there. Is that alright with you, Mr. Candabella? Okay. Let's get into Mr. Candabella. He looks paler than you do with a cold. No idea. Let's follow the others back to the courtroom. I mean, back to the town was burning though, so maybe she saw, you know, she was a small, short, she saw it from there, with the town background burning, probably. This investigation seems to have yielded some unexpected results, but can someone explain them to me? Your Honor, the Inquisition will interpret the results of its investigation. Witness, you said you were about 6 years old at the time of that incident. Yes, that's right. Did you see the movement of the dragon appeared above the town? No, I don't remember. I remember seeing it at some point. It was like a flash. The town was ablaze and this fiery beast was hovering above it. Then when you noticed the dragon, the town was already engulfed by flames. Yes. That information completes the picture. Ms. Candabella's statement has offered me an insight into the true story of the fire dragon. Over 10 years ago, Ms. Candabella was in the belfry unconscious. What events led to this? Perhaps we will discover that in due course. When she awoke, the whole town was on fire. Having inhaled much smoke, she was still dazed. She was only vaguely aware of her surroundings when she looked up, alarmed by the scorching heat. Unable to stand, she was on her knees, and then she saw something she would never remember her whole life. Well, she saw a terrifying fire dragon attacking the town. She saw it through the fretwork in the black balustrade. The shape of a dragon against a backdrop of the town being swallowed up by flames became imprinted in her memory. That is the truth about the fire dragon. This is what I have deduced. It wasn't a monster. Miss Candabella, the illustration you have drawn for us bears an uncanny resemblance to the fretwork in the belfry. You saw the dragon when you were confused, possibly mildly asphyxiated from the smoke. There was no magic and no magical beast. You believe a stranger but not your father. That's so typical of teenagers. You should have listened to me. And now that all the mysteries have been unraveled, can we not end this trial and go home? I agree.
Objection!
Do you want to go home? As much as we like to, I'm afraid it's still a bit early for that. What else do you want from us? There's just one more problem I'd like to solve tonight. One more, what on earth could it be? Miss Candabella, we have ascertained that you were in the belfry when you saw the dragon. However, that creates a new question. How did you get there? Oh, I haven't thought of that. Yeah, neither have I. Suspect of an ace attorney, Mr. Wright seems to have noticed the problem too at last. In order to access the belfry, you need to use the bell tower mechanism. The mechanism can only be set in motion with the pendants. 2 pendants. Indeed. Miss Candabella, did you have your pendant with you at the time? Yes, I think I did. I always had it with me. But why did I have that pendant? I can't remember it at all. This pendant is not just for show, it's the key to the belfry. How was she carrying it around? You must also not forget that one pendant does not suffice to operate the contraption. 2 of them are required. Dark law! 2 pendants? Miss Candabella, are you certain that you were alone in the belfry? No, I wasn't alone. I was there with a friend. What friend? Don't tell me Eve is there! No, there can't be, right? Eve, where did you get off to? The friend you mentioned, was it this cat? No. Yeah, she's my best friend. Imagine if the cat is Dark Law. We have always been together. Without Eve, I would have been so lonely. That kid is always appearing out of nowhere to keep Espella company. Of course she does. After all, Bezella is always accompanied by a black cat. What you saw from the bell tower when you were little was so terrifying that even an adult would have been scarred for life. The town burned in front of your eyes, the thought you saw a dragon. You see, your memories have been twisted by the horrors you saw. What do you mean? The dragon you saw wasn't real, and I suspect that the friend who was with you in the bell tower might not have been that cat. No, it was her. It was Eve, my only friend. Miss Cannabella, a dependent needed to access to a light belfry is too large for a cat. Are you following? If Eve was with you, it would have been impossible for you to enter the belfry. Wait. Inquisitor, where is all this going? You have no right to tamper with my daughter's memories. Hey, you're the one who tampered with hers. You're right, of course. However, neither do you. Nor should you attempt to cover up the truth. No, you're wrong. He was my only friend. Think about that day again, Miss Candabella. You went to the top of that bell tower with a friend who also had a pendant. Well then, why don't we have the defense present some evidence? Can you prove that someone was with the... Hey, do we have it? I'm nothing on the legendary file. Why asking me to prove? And one of us remember that incident. I mean, Layton has the picture. Had enough of this, you honor. You have no grounds to continue this trial. Well, we appear to have reached a dead end. There's nothing else for us to do.
Objection!
He has it! We have a bathroom break, Jesus! Please hold on, Your Honor. What is this, all of this? All of a sudden, Inquisitor Bar Layton. The defense does not have the necessary evidence, but someone else does. What do you mean? This time, the Inquisition will present its evidence. Inquisition... You son of a witch. Witch? This is what you wanted from the very start, isn't it? The picture of the two girls! This is the proof. This photograph shows Miss Candabella with a friend. Golly, this is the finest illustration I have ever seen. It's a photograph. It looks as if it were a reflection of the real world on paper. Tell me who created this exquisite work of art. Well, Your Honor, I understand you are fascinated, but let us focus on what this picture shows. This picture was found in the Storyteller's Tower. Mr. Candabella, we have taken the liberty of borrowing it for this trial. It's enough to look away for a second and you'll cause trouble. Professor, aren't photographs against the rules? I mean, this is supposed to be a medieval setting. Who cares? What's important now is helping Miss Candabella to grasp the truth. And in this case, the end justifies the means. Please take a close look at the two girls in this picture. Each of them is wearing a pendant. Why, that's so. These are the belfry contraption pendants. You know that one of these girls is Miss Candabella, but then who is the other girl? Accused, do you have any idea? Miss Bella, are you okay? Doesn't look like she is. It's me. And the other girl is... She's... I don't know. Esbella! Your Honor, Stop this trial. Stop it right now. Can't you see you're driving Spell into insanity?
Objection!
It's just the opposite, Mr. Candabella. If you turn away from the truth now, Espella will close herself to the world forever. Mr. Wright? Yes, you know who it is, don't you? You know the identity of the other girl in this picture. Is that okay? Yeah, I know it is. Come on.
Take that!
I think it's High Inquisitor Dark Law. High Inquisitor Dark Law. I can't say I didn't have a slight suspicions about her, but oh my. Scandapella, what do you say? Do you now remember the girl next to you in this picture? I was with Lady Dark Law. This is crazy. What are you basing this preposterous claim on? What, Mr. Candapella? This girl closely resembles the High Inquisitor? Resembles? That's just your personal opinion. It's meaningless in your court of law.
Objection!
You want evidence? I've got it. What? The evidence proof that the girl in this picture is hiding the Dark Law is... It's dependent, right? Oh yeah, but... What else do we got? Bell Tower Plan.
Take that!
And this is the proof that it was the High Inquisitor. Pendant needed for that contract in the Bell Tower. Have Miss Darklaw's testimony here. She said this pendant was hers. And so... The other girl in the picture is definitely Miss Darklaw. Is it? Is it really? Eve, where are you going? Ah! I was expecting you, Miss Darklaw. I see that I was not mistaken about you. I trusted in your ability to get this far. Hi, Mr. Darklaw, where did you just appear from? Does your memory not serve you well, Your Honor? You know what I am. I can disappear at will anytime I wish to. So, storyteller, everything has worked out just as you had written. Oh, revert creative Labyrinthia. Darklaw. Lady Darklaw. Miss Darklaw, you ended the belfry with Miss Candapella when you were little. Yes, I did. Then you have memories of events from before 10 years ago. I certainly do. Order in the court. Lady Darklaw, you were with me. Your memories have been suppressed by that man. But I was with Eve. Eve, huh? Eve the black cat? Yes, she has always been my dear friend. She was by my side on that day too. What a bizarre coincidence. Darklaw isn't my real name. What? What is your real name? It's Eve. What? Cats don't live that long! 10 years? Or 10 years? What? You are Eve. Oh! Cat, she was Eve! Eve. Espella. My dear friend. Eve. It can't be. That flashback, was it real? Darklaw, why are you doing this? Are you trying to undo everything I have accomplished in the past 10 years? No, you have already ruined everything yourself. What is it that you want? What I want? My aim is to make the truth known, so that everything returns to how it should be. Miss Darklaw, will you tell us what you remember about what happened back then, more than 10 years ago? It would be my pleasure. It was the day of the Fire Festival. Espella and I went up to the bell tower. The wind was strong that day. When the sun had set, the festival began. I mean, the wind was strong that day. Well, great. It's true that the whole town burned down that day. The fire consumed buildings and people, turning them into ashes. We were the only survivors. We stayed in the belfry while the world below us was being eaten up by hungry flames. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. Legendary fire is no fable. It happened here more than 10 years ago.
Objection!
There are no such things as magic and fire dragons, so how could the whole town be destroyed in just one night? Yes, that's something I'd like to know as well. Even if we assume the celebrity fires got out of control, surely the whole town wouldn't have perished like that. Now it all makes sense. That was the missing piece of this puzzle. What do you mean, Professor? Can you imagine now what transpired that night? What happened in the belfry, and what caused the legendary fire? We have all the clues we need! The Inquisition has evidence to show us. I'd very much like to see it. What caused the legendary fire? The Bell of Ruin!
Have a look.
The cause of the fire is in the belfry. It was the bell that they warned us. The bell had been made by the natives and later sealed underground. It was called the Bell of Ruin. Bell of Ruin. By the way, why does this bell have such an ominous name? Could it be because it's made of pure silver? Pure silver? Exactly. Oh, it's the kids, the girls. The girls probably ringed it. And then, you know, they all... Oh, no. Mr. Kind of fella has told us earlier. Oh, shit. Well, fucking hell. That metal is pure silver. Yes, and we've been told the condition is brought about by drinking the groundwater. Indeed. That bell was also the reason why the original inhabitants of this area decided to forsake it. It seems that the Bell of Ruin caused a devastating disaster. To those who have gained entry into this sanctum, heed our words. You must not ring the Bell of Ruin. I can't help but wonder what disaster this bell had caused. An enormous bell made of pure silver had the locals with their peculiar conditions. It's not too hard to imagine what happened. Yeah, big bro. It was probably the same calamity as the one that had happened over 10 years ago. And that is, well, what disaster happened to this town before Labyrinthia was built? The legendary fire. Now, let us contemplate the following scenario. What would happen if the Bell of Ruin were sounded during the fire festival? Oh. Everyone who heard it would fall as unconscious. As it was an annual festival, all the townspeople were assembled in the town square. Oh dear. Therefore, on the night of the fire festival over 10 years ago, all the residents instantly lost consciousness when the bell was struck. Oh no. Had it been even just slightly windy that day, the fires lit for the Great Witch Bizella would have gone out of control, and they would spread throughout the town with no one left to stop them, because everyone was unconscious. Exactly, that also includes the two girls who were in the belfry. Hey, at least they got burned while they were unconscious though, right? So they didn't feel any pain. The people? Spell and I, you were the closest to the source of the sound, so it was inevitable. When you recovered consciousness, it was already too late. The town had been swallowed by the flames as if a fire dragon had come to burn it. That was a calamity caused by the bell. Calamity. You say here that the cause of calamity is the Great Witch Bizella. That night, in this very town, Bizella was more than a mythical persona. Bizella!
She's losing it again.
Persona!
The Bell of Ruin. Bizella!
No! To be continued? When does it end? What the fuck? be continued. Well, Espella killed everyone, rip. Time to go home! Take me home, spirit! Mr. Candabella, I would like to apologize for putting too much pressure on your daughter. Only your words can bring her back from the brink of madness. Let her hear the truth from her own father. All according to your plan, Layton. You have driven Espella into a corner in order to push me into the wall. This game really picked at the Colin trial. Yeah, for sure, man. The Colin trial was the best one, for sure. Had no other choice. Espella, please listen to me. You haven't done anything wrong. You didn't cause that accident. You have suffered so much thinking that you were Bezella. I must take the blame for that. You, Mr. Candabella? I sacrificed everything to make up for what I have done, but all I managed to do was inflict more pain upon others. Is that not so, Dracula? Now that you are willing to talk to Mr. Candabella... Now that you're willing to talk, Mr. Candabella, would you mind telling us your story? Yours, as well as Isabela's and Miss Dracula's. Very well. His story too began when I was a young lad. Then Nathan and I were still youths, full of dreams and hope. As right now, we discovered the underground ruins, yeah, and within them laid that accursed bell, the Bell of Ruin. At the time, we still lacked the knowledge to decipher any of the writings we found there. This bell is magnificent. It's bound to make the most beautiful sound. I have an idea. Why don't we make this bell the symbol of our town? Oh, how do we propose to do that? Let's build a bell tower for it, then we can ring it on the special occasions. That's not a bad idea. It's settled. When we grow up, let's do it. Okay, just don't forget about it. Yikes! The two of us chose different paths in life. Yeah, we know that. Then you made a fortune following the invention of a new anesthetic. We both got married around that time, and each of us had a daughter. You mean Espella was born shortly after your company gained funding? Is Belduc's daughter Eve? That's right. We eventually returned to our hometown and set about realizing our childhood dream. Having built the bell tower in the middle of the town square, we retrieved the bell itself from the underground ruins. We aspired to make it a symbol of prosperity for this unindustrialized town. The bell was to be officially displayed during the annual fire festival. It would be rung in the morning following the night of celebration. Pardon the interruption, but at the time, were you aware of the meaning behind the bell's name? Obviously, we were not. Thinking back to my ignorance at the time, a chill now runs down my spine. Naruto and I went to the bell tower and the day before the festival. Only one more day to go. We have waited a long time for this. That we have, this town will no longer be the same after tomorrow. The bell weighed so much that ringing it was not easy. We tackled that problem by constructing a special mechanism which we installed in the belfry.
Daddy, I want to hear the bell. Can I make it ring? Daddy, please, let me ring it.
Spella, who was there with us, was utterly enchanted by the bell. She wasn't a bad child, but she was very stubborn and would rarely listen to me when she wanted something. I told her a story to try, convinced her to leave the bell alone.
Espella, listen carefully. You mustn't ring this bell.
But why? Why can't I, Daddy?
You know about Bezella, the witch.
Uh-huh. She's an evil fire witch who uses magic to hurt people.
If you ring this bell, Bezella will come out and possess you.
Possess me? You mean I'll
Well, he started it!
That's right, Espella.
Well...
When Bezella possesses someone, she uses them to do terrible things. That's why you must never ring the spell, sweetheart.
I understand, Daddy.
There's a good girl.
The legend of Bezella has been passed around these parts for centuries. probably originated from beliefs of the tribes that populated this area in the past. But I thought Espella was just a silly story that I invented for the occasion. It was only meant to stop her from ringing the bell. Could not have imagined that it would have such a far-reaching consequences. It's all coming back to me now. I remember that day. On the day of the fire festival, just around the time when the preparations ended and everything was about to begin, I sneaked out of our house. I took Mom's pendant with me. Mother's pendant, do you mean this one? Yes, it belonged to my mom. We needed to limit access to the bell, so we made 2 keys. We decided to make them into pendants and each gave one to our respective wives. Both are needed in order to access the belfry. I saw you and Mr. Belden use them, so I told Eve to meet me at the bell tower.
Daddy says Bazella will come out if I ring the bell, but if I do it just a little...
Bad girl!
I want to try it while the festival is going on.
Bad! Oh no!
I hope Eve doesn't forget
If-
her mum's pendant.
If only she listened to... So it is just like that, Miss Darklaw. You are Mr. Belduke's daughter. Heh, well done, Inquisitor. I was almost afraid you would fail to make that connection. What in the... This is too much for me. Lady Darklaw, you mean to say that you are Sir Belduke's daughter? Yes, my real name is Eve Belduke. I'm the alchemist's daughter. This is unbelievable. I also sneak out of my house that evening, clutching my mother's pendant in my hand. I did just as you asked me to, did I not, Espella?
Espella, my mum's going to be so angry if she notices I took the pendant. Don't worry so much. I just really want to ring that bell.
She killed them! She killed them! She killed them! I rang the bell against my father's warning and saw Bizella possessed me. Off with her head! Because of me, the town, and everyone in it. They're all gone. No, it's not your fault. Stop blaming yourself. Supposedly, the former inhabitants of this area also used to fall unconscious upon the sound of that bell. Perhaps they experienced a similar nightmare. It was I who brought the Bell of Ruin into this town. The one to blame for this calamity is not some witch. It's me. I brought destruction upon this town. I am Bezella. Spella, you're going to drive your dad crazy if you keep repeating that. Seeing you like this is giving me a strong feeling of deja vu. Eve, how can you be so evil? Are you happy now? I'm afraid we're in the dark as regards Miss Darklaw's sense of deja vu. Only 4 people survived the fire. Only 4. Spell and Eve, who were in the belfry, and the only 2 residents who did not participate in the festival, Newton and I. Where were you at the time, if you'll permit my asking? We were investigating those fateful ruins, that's why we didn't notice anything until it was too late. It was getting near the time at which we planned to ring the bell, so we headed towards the town. Then we saw it, the town had been burned to ashes, the air shimmering from the heat. That's too awful for words. We searched for survivors, sick with anxiety. Eventually we found our daughters in the bell tower. Espella was unresponsive like a doll. Eve was crying at her side, relieved at having found them with terror caused by the disaster. Right? The worst night of my life ended, pierced with the first rays of sunshine. But then, it seemed Espella was already lost to us. We had lost her to Bizella. The trauma, the shock. She wouldn't speak, eat, or even leave her room. She thought she was Bizella and that she had destroyed the town. I couldn't get that out of her head. What she saw from the bell tower must have been so terrifying. But it wasn't shock from what she had seen. My own words had put her in that state. Had I only not told her that stupid story. Well, that's a one big oopsie daisy. Yeah, Oh, we had been this grasping at straws trying to find a way to save Espella's mind. But whatever we did, her eyes would remain impassive and empty. In the end, I came upon a certain idea that offered us a glimpse of hope. Was it this suspense? It's too much for my aging heart. I believe I may know what it is, what it was. It was the only way to get through to little Espella. Okay, come on. It was the first story.
Have a look.
We discovered this in Espella's room. And that is... It's a handmade picture book. The illustration and handwriting are truly exquisite. It's the first story I wrote. I made it for Espella after that dreadful fire. Oh, the storyteller's first story. It was but a simple children's story. The plot was very straightforward. The townsfolk joined forces to banish evil witches who served Bizella.
Espella, do you understand now? You aren't Bizella. Bizella is somewhere out there, sending out other
Kid!
witches to do bad
You're
things
not
to
Bizella!
people
Wake
of
the
our
fuck
town.
up! Witches, magic, the town's perishing in flames. Espella was mentally broken and I couldn't get through to her any other way. I talked to her as if magic and witches were real, avoiding any mention of that fire.
Daddy. A witch is real.
Espella spoke to me for the first time in so many days. I was beyond myself with joy and replied without thinking.
Oh, yes, they are.
Well,
They're hiding in the town, among the people.
But it's just a fairy tale.
I was desperate. I feel she would close herself off to me again. Now in hindsight, I see what an utter fool I was. I made an irreversible mistake yet again.
No, it's not. Everything your daddy writes comes true. The bad witches will get their comeuppance. I will write a story about it.
And so I wrote another story for my daughter and story about mischievous witches getting caught. And fucking burned them. This time I had the story acted out in front of my Espella. You had it acted out. Back then, I wasn't the only one tormenting myself over the mental state of my daughter. Newton was going through the hell too. His own daughter had been badly scarred by the event. Is that right, Eve? My father and I repaired a building that had survived the fire and continued to live in this town. Espella wasn't even able to leave her room. We couldn't leave her behind and she needed all the help she could get. Mr. Cantapella showed us this book one day. Then he made us an unusual request of us.
I'd like to make this story real. Would you be willing to help me do so?
To our surprise, he was entirely serious. Seeing that, we gladly offered our help. A story about evil-doing witches getting caught and punished, and Bizella, the source of them all.
Were you paying attention, Espella? Witches got what they deserved, and peace has been restored to the town.
Espella smiled at the end, then she whispered to herself.
It wasn't me.
It was you! It was you! When I saw her smile, I felt like something broke inside me. I couldn't afford to let her be sad again. Maybe if Bizella were to exist in this town, Espella would stop thinking she herself harbored the Great Witch. I continued writing stories about witches, Abe and I would act them out for Espella.
It was her.
Gradually, the number of characters in my stories increased. That was, of course, largely due to the ongoing reconstruction of the town. How much reconstruction? It wasn't anything on a big scale. I simply paid people to move in and act out their roles. But I began to think that I would need more than that. The story had to be real. To make a lie seem true, you need to resort to even more lies. Yes, I was certain that was the only way. How did I do so? I remember about Newton's research. He was working on a certain medicine. It was a kind of a tranquilizer made from local plants that he was testing at the time. It was difficult to put into practical use. The substance had a danger of causing unconsciousness and hypnosis. And see how that could be abused to cause more harm, supposing it fell into the wrong hands. At the same time, it was just what I needed for my ambitious project. Contacted the government, and that was the beginning of what came to be known as a Project Labyrinthia. A town with human test subjects all in a state of long-term hypnosis. You devised that plan solely for the sake of your daughter. Yes, we acquired the land which had been laid to waste by the fire. The new town was slowly becoming populated. Gradually, the rules of Labyrinthia were established. It was to be a town where magic and witches were a reality to the residents. All of this was possible thanks to a drug. Test subjects were exposed to it through the ink used to pen the story, right? That's right, it was the dangerous drug developed by Newton. About 10 years have passed since then. Even now the town continues to change. Project Labyrinthia. And all this was done for one girl. Spella was only able to be herself and she lived within my story. Oh, the irony of it. Only within a world in which Spella was real could Spella's tragic memories be sealed. All this while, Eve was assisting me. I was the first shade. As soon as the story began, I disappeared from the scene. The Spella was to see some magic, and then someone had to don this robe. That's the robe of invisibility. I gave Spella new memories so that she could live in this town with everyone else. I also sealed the memory of her friend Eve. What? My existence was too strongly connected to her memory of the fire. Afterwards, I returned as Dark Law, a stranger to Spella. What? Even if you were doing this for Spella's sake, that's just going too far. I made that choice. I do not regret the past 10 years. Meanwhile, my father was supporting the Labyrinthia from behind the scenes in his own way. You mean his contributions as an alchemist? My father's knowledge of medicine was indispensable for this town to function. Hallucinations Inc. Hallucinogenic Inc. was my father's work as well. So it was. Newton and Eve sacrificed more than anyone else for the sake of Spella and this town. I will be forever indebted to them. Will be. We wanted to save Spella just like you. But then there's still something I don't understand. Why were you trying to destroy this fake world? In the end, you chose to betray Spella and Mr. Cantabella. Oh, but I've told you already, have I not? It was your revenge against Mr. Cantabella. You chose him to end the story, correct? I wonder whether that was the true reason. Professor? Would Miss Belduke really betray them merely because she did not want the story to end? I dare say there was another, considerably more important reason. She had another reason? No need to frown in dismay. Mr. Wright, please leave this to me. Ah, yeah, the suicide note.
Have a look.
This letter was Miss Belduke's real motive. At least this, I think I've seen it before. It's the letter written by Mr. Belduke for Mr. Cantabella. It's also Mr. Belduke's suicide note. My dear friend, I hope you can forgive me for leaving this world of my own will. What I've done cannot be forgiven. I can never escape from it. Something was tormenting Mr. Belduke. It became too much for him to bear and drove him to suicide. These past 10 years, I thought Father was glad to be helping Cantabella, but little did I know, he was suffering terrible anguish all the time. Cantabella twisted the lives of so many people for the sake of his daughter. Was the story not about a glorified lie, stripping so many of what little happiness they had? All those years, Father was racked by a crushing sense of guilt. His agony culminated in the incident of 3 months ago. Mr. Belduke's dead. Bell Tower! Sephiroth! Before Labyrinth was created, certain things had to be concealed in order to steal Espella's memories. Had she seen them, she would have remembered. They were simply too dangerous to her. One of them was me. Espella's friend Eve had to be reborn as a shade and disappeared into the forest. The next thing was the bell tower. Sephiroth, no! In the flames. Had she seen it, he would have been certain to stir up those traumatic memories. Memories of the legendary fire. The only way to prevent that was to erase the bell tower from the Labyrinthia. But how could you do that? Using the same method as with this rope. The rope of invisibility. In short, we covered up the tower with a huge rope. Oh! Although it wasn't as easy as it sounds. In other words, the bell tower had been there all this time. Wait, how the hell did nobody ever, bump into it then? Only the townspeople couldn't see it, is that correct? I don't know what to say. At any rate, the situation changed due to that lightning strike 3 months ago, did it not? It was the most unfortunate accident. The lightning set the bell tower's cover on fire. That cover was quickly consumed by flames, revealing that abominable bell tower. At the beginning of all this, the Bell of Ruin appeared before us to us mockery of our efforts. That tower emerging from the flames must have seemed like a sign of divine anger to Mr. Belduke. A sign that no matter how you attempt to conceal your sins, the truth will eventually float up to the surface. Having realized this, Father chose death. He was such a kind-hearted man. I didn't have an inkling of what he had been going through. To him, the participation of Labyrinthia's people within this project was not voluntarily. Even though they had themselves signed the contract, I believe he felt those people were being deceived. Father took his life because of you, Cantabella. Now you know why I did what I did. I lost my father 3 months ago. That day my revenge began. Your revenge? The first step of my plan was to rewrite the story. What did you say? As president of Labor Room Inc., you had to spend most of your time in London. However, the past few years, you were coming to Labyrinthia only for the parades. So naturally, I knew you would never notice if the story were slightly changed. That explains it. I couldn't help thinking there was something strange going on. Mr. Cantabella is Espella's father after all. He wouldn't have made Espella a witch in his story. Espella was... a witch? How did that happen? I could have known after all. Let me fill you in on the details. Espella has already been tried once within the witch's court. Impossible! Why? How could you... You knew the risk that would carry. Look at you, what a fine author of that grand story you are. You left all the work in Labyrinthia to me, meanwhile you were making millions for yourself in London. What a pathetic excuse for a father. You didn't notice that your precious little Espella was in such a danger. Miss Belduke, why did you do that to Espella? Do you even need to ask? I did it to unlock her memories. You mean... When the legendary fire took place, Espella was so traumatized that she closed herself off to the world. We were just little girls then. That tragic accident was too much for us to handle. This fictitious town was created as a facade to keep the truth away from Espella, but the weight of all these lies led my father to his suicide. Despite that, the person responsible for all of this carried on as if nothing had happened. I couldn't forgive him. As Belduke's bereaved daughter, I had to have my revenge against both Cantabellas. Judge, this is the whole truth. Now you know the true identity of Bizella.
Objection!
You say this is the whole truth, but is that really the case? Professor, what are you going on about now? We have been provided with a clear picture of what happened to Espella so long ago. Nevertheless, we haven't yet heard your testimony. Oh, it keeps going. Don't be ridiculous. This will be the last testimony in this trial. Tell us about the night of the legendary fire. It better be the last one! I request that you tell us your story. Who do you think you are, Inquisitor? I am merely one of the supporting characters within this tale. However, I am very much interested in the truth. This has been a very long trial, of which this shall be the last interrogation. The court demands that the single other witness of the legendary fire provide us with her testimony. Very well. There's only one truth. Nothing can change that. One truth! Spell wanted to ring the bell no matter what, so we went up to the belfry. The festival of celebrations had already started. The mechanism for ringing the bell was at a height even we could reach. The next thing I remember is coming to and running to Espella's side. I was shaking her until she finally opened her eyes. The next moment, we saw that nightmarish view. All strength abandoned us, and we didn't know what to do. That was when we were found by my father and Mr. Cantabella. The bell could only be rung with a special mechanism. That's right, it was made in such a way that even a child could use it. It was probably constructed by my father. I suppose he wanted to make it possible for anyone to ring that bell. In light of the events that followed, that was clearly a very foolish decision. The mechanism for ringing the bell. I noticed something like that on a pillar when we went to the belfry earlier. Better make a note of it in the court record. Okay, there's something more to it, huh? Oh, the effect can be certainly cruel. Have to agree. Only we had not discovered those ruins and brought that bell to our town. Or if only we could have deciphered those ancient writings a little earlier. Moreover, if only the groundwater in this area didn't cause that strange condition. Fortunately, Mr. Cantabella, the tragedy occurred. All that remains for us to do is seek out the truth. Not for the sake of vengeance, but for the sake of the future. Mr. Wright? Yes? You have been fighting fiercely to uncover the truth. This is the final interrogation. I trust you know what to do. Leave it to me. To be honest, I have no idea what lies ahead. But whatever it is, there's no question we need to get to the bottom of it. There's gotta be a light at the end of this tunnel. A light. Okay, I'm gonna... Let me see here.
Hold it!
You didn't leave the belfry until their arrival? Of course not. He's very paralyzed with fear. It was an event so traumatizing it still haunts us. Spella fainted again when she saw the fire dragon. I was crying and wailing until our fathers found us. We went to the bell tower as it was a good vantage point. We weren't expecting to find our daughters there. Of course, neither suspected at that point that disaster had been caused by the Bell of Ruin. A was in tears, sobbing violently as for Spella. She was in a daze. Her face froze in an expression of disbelief. She didn't know what was happening around her. I can't say this with certainty as my memories are a little vague. I think I was trying to protect her. Hey. Protect her?
Hang on!
Mr. Cantabella? I remember that very well as if it happened yesterday. Cantabella, would you mind telling us what you saw?
Eve! Espella! Are you alright?
Daddy!
Eve! What on earth happened here?
It was Bazella! Bazella the witch!
But Bazilla?
No, it wasn't.
What are you talking about?
Bazella comes out whenever someone rings the bell, right?
What have you done? You didn't...
Oh, please, Mr. Cantabella, don't be angry at Isabella.
You said it with the most serious look on her face. Please, Mr. Cantabella, don't be angry at her. When she said that, I grasped the situation. I realized what had transpired in the belfry. I thought to myself, must protect these children. Eve. I'm so sorry, Eve. Espella! Espella, sweetie! Dad, please forgive me. You have done all this for me. Espella, you're with us again? All this for me. Well, well. At last, it would appear we are one step away from the truth. Professor, you seem to already know what that truth is, do I? That remains to be seen. Continue the interrogation and we shall all know soon enough. As you wish. We saw that nightmarish view.
Hold it!
So it was you who woke up Espella up, did this? Yes, it was me. She was out cold, curled up on the floor until I shook her awake. As soon as she came to, she turned to look at the town to that nightmarish view stretching out before us. Alright.
Hang on!
Hang on! Excuse me, Espella. Espella, are you okay? Yes, everything's fine. My apologies for bringing back such a troubling memories. Nevertheless, you must then the world to face them and overcome the power they hold over you. Yes, I remember it now. The fire dragon. I summoned it because I'm Bezala. No, Espella, it was just an illusion. No, you're wrong, Dad. It wasn't an illusion. It was a fact. If I hadn't rung the bell, none of this would have happened. Bezala is the bringer of disaster, and that's what I have done to our town. The accused ran away! Quick, after her! She's running to the bell tower! Darn it! She's locked herself in! It's no use, we'll have to break down the door to get in. Ugh, that girl, she's gone and... Stay away from me! Is she gonna jump down? Espella! Espella, be careful, it's dangerous up there. Please, Espella, come down. I'm sorry, everyone. I have no right to be here anymore. Nick! Espella's gonna do something crazy. I can see that. But what the heck can I do? Espella, please do not make any hasty decisions. Mr. Layton. Shoot is closed now. Be brave for a little while longer. Shoot? As it wasn't clear already? If I hadn't rung that bell, everything would have been fine.
Objection!
You may be mistaken. You still don't know the whole story. Huh? Isn't that so, Mr. Wright? I had the same feeling when I was listening to Eve's testimony. I felt something was not right. Really? I thought that was pretty much it. These puzzles that don't yet fit are themselves the hints to the solution. No way. You mean Espella didn't ring the bell? What? Nonsense! Of course she did! As it stands, it's hard to say for sure that she didn't ring the bell. However, we got evidence that will clear any doubts. Show us the so-called evidence you claim to have then. What do you think proves Espella didn't ring the bell? Oh, don't tell me! Where is it? The updated one. Is that one? This one!
Take that!
Somebody else did it? Espella, can you hear me? Yes. Where you're standing now is the same spot from where you saw the fire dragon. Yes, that's right. This fretwork here is the same as what I saw that day. When I look at it now, it seems so small, even adorable. Defense, what does this have to do with anything? As you will no doubt recall, Mr. Cantipella told us the people who drink the groundwater here suffer from a condition where they fall unconscious the moment they hear the sound of a pure silver. Yes? After the bell sounded, we recovered our consciousness sooner than Espella. We ran to her side and shook her awake. As soon as she opened her eyes, she saw the fire dragon. In other words, if it was Espella who rang the bell, that would mean the device for ringing the bell must be very close to the fretwork of the dragon. Bella, can you please check that for me? See if the contraption is located near the dragon fretwork. Okay, give me a minute. Mr. Wright! Bella, did you find it? I don't know if it's the right thing, but there's something on the other side of the belfry, a contraption with a handle. What? On the other side? That's right. I figured there was something weird when we went up the bell tower, but I couldn't quite put my finger on it. No, no way. You see where I'm going with this? Don't you, Miss Belduke? Him? If it was Espella who rang the bell, there's no way she could have seen that fire dragon when she woke up. No, no, this can't be right. An excellent deduction, Mr. Wright. Miss Darklaw, seems that everything is now clear as day. What? What do you mean? Why, of course. I mean the answer to the question of who rang the bell. It was her. It had to be... What do you say, Mr. Wright? The other person who was there. Oh no! Looks like we have arrived at the same conclusion. We now know that only one person could have done it. Wait! What could Willie say it out loud do? Schmuck! Schmuck! Is there a problem, Mr. Cantabella? It wasn't your daughter who rang that bell. Should that not lift some burden off your shoulders? Are you not curious to know the name of the true culprit? Who has pinned the blame on your daughter all this while? How about you stop taunting us? Just say the name already. Who is the true culprit? Let's do it, Professor. Are you ready? I'm always ready, Mr. Wright. It's time to set things straight. The person who rang the bell is... It was Kira! It was you! It's you, Eve Belduke! Me? But... There were only the two of you in the belfry at the time. You know that better than anyone. And as it wasn't Espella who rang the bell, it had to be you. That's preposterous. It can't be true. It was an extremely traumatizing event for both you and Espella. Your friend's memory were altered from the shock without her even realizing it. She believed she was a witch who rang the bell and summoned a dragon which incinerated the town. However, Miss Belduke, Espella wasn't the only one whose memories were warped by the horrors you to witness. You were affected as well.
No. It wasn't me.
It was you.
Espella, she rang the bell.
What did she know?
It was her, not me. But why? What are these flashbacks? I've never had these before.
Oh shit. Woo! It's a party!
What's the matter? I don't want to do this now. We'll be taken over by Bizella. Bizella is just a fairy tale. And you're the one who said you wanted to come and ring the bell. I did, but I...
Good girl!
changed my mind.
Good girl!
Hey? After coming all this way?
Ew. Stop it! Stop it!
Hmm?
She was the one! She killed them! Imagine she fell down from there though. Eve. Eve.
Espella!
Oh, fuck. Shit. Who even made the bell in the first place? Let's make everyone full of conscious spell. That's a great idea. The people from the past. That's Moltres! Or was it before the condition was Sting? I think they never, I don't know. They never really explained it. They should have just destroyed the bell, to be honest. The past people who, you know, look for the new home.
That nightmare was too
Why
much
didn't they
for
destroy
two
the
young
bell?
girls to take in. Your young minds
Fucking
needed
cowards
to
running away
protect
from looking for a new
themselves.
home.
That's why you subconsciously repressed those memories.
Then, if that's true, for the past 10 years, I've been pinning the blame for what I've done on Espella. It can't be. It can't be true. It's impossible!
Ah!
Darklost just disappeared.
Hey!
He's donned the invisibility robe.
Run away! But did you hear that? He was turned that once destroyed this town. Our lives have already been messed up so much, we don't need this now. Just gotta pay for what she did. Capture her. But you guys were... What do you mean she has to pay for what she...
Oh, Nick, look at the bell tower. Espella's gone.
No! She's on the roof!
What the...
I beg you, don't blame Eve. It really doesn't matter anymore who rang the accursed bell. This town was all created for me. It's my fault you've all been used and suffered so much.
Espella, what are you saying? Please, come down right now. You haven't done anything wrong. It was all my fault.
Dad, I know that you did this for me. You've been so kind to me. And what did I do? I selfishly ran away from home.
Espella.
I will finish your story for you. The evil witch will be gone forever.
No!
And everyone will live happily ever after.
It's not happily ever after!
Dad, thank you for everything
Girl!
you've done for me.
No!
Wait! Don't do it, Espella!
Oh!
What are you... Isn't that... Darklaw? But why, Eve? Why would you? I finally remembered everything I've done.
You didn't do shit!
Oh, not the only one
You
who
didn't do
remembered.
shit, girl!
You still have the pendant.
I just
Yes,
stand there, go
of
up there and
course.
help her!
That's because... somehow I always knew it was important to me.
Espella,
You kept your
I just
pendant
miss
as well,
watching.
didn't you, Eve?
for some reason, I just couldn't let it go.
Do something!
Espella! Miss Darklaw!
Quick, they'll fall if we don't do something.
No shit!
Let's go. We have to save them.
No, you won't make it there in time.
Go!
The wooden handrail Eve's holding onto is rotted through. We need some sort of magic to
Magic?
save them.
I don't know what magic!
Magic, you say?
Got an idea, Professor?
If a bit of magic is all that's needed to save these two young ladies, then perhaps that is something I can arrange.
He's a magician.
What? You can?
He's a magician. And he pulls Juicy right out of nowhere.
You have to let go, otherwise you'll fall too.
Layton, now is not the time to act mysterious. If you have a plan, do it! He's doing something! What's he gonna do? What? Pointing? What? Nani?
Professor?
Maho? What? Nani? What's going on here, anyone? Professor? You're a sorcerer? No, Miss Faye. We have already established that magic doesn't exist even in this town. But then, how did you do just that? What you have just seen was the last and greatest illusion within Labyrinthia. He says to the spirit meeting, an illusion? Magic is but an illusion. And this illusion has been produced through the power of suggestion labor room's medication. Jam Jam! Everyone in Labyrinthia has been under this particular magic spell. Now then, despite the issues I have with this game, the pursuit theme is a banger. True! Now then, should we break the spell? Magic is the last mystery to be solved. You've seen through all my tricks, Layton. I wouldn't have done it without the final hint you gave me when we spoke in your tower. The final spell is concealed at the start. Okay, so what does that mean? See, now all the spells are listed within this book. Right, the Grand Grimoire. Now, what did Mr. Cantipella mean by the start? The front cover. Precisely, Mr. Wright. Final spell shall dispel the illusion. The correct incantation is hidden on the front cover itself.
Well then, Mr. Wright. This is the final puzzle.
The final
Soon,
puzzle.
A new day will begin for the townspeople. Let us put an end to this illusion. Once and for all.
Yeah!
Okay. Puzzle time! Hit at the cover of the Grand Grimoire, the characters and spell out the true magical incantation. Select the characters on the touchscreen. Yes, light the counterparts on the tomes. Cover to make them vanish. The grand finale approaches. Remove the extra magical characters from the Grand Grimoire's cover to reveal the hidden incantation. What the fuck? Okay. Huh? Oh, okay. Okay. Nothing there? What's happening in the universe? What is happening in the universe? Okay, that works. Nice. So that there's an actual assembly puzzle that Felix is doing is there. No. Oh, there it is. Okay, it's like this. Oh, I see it. It's right there. Okay, E, I see it. This big ass E. Oh, come on. S is right there. What the fuck made this? This one, I think it's this one. Okay, this one, I can see it's probably, let's see the circle part. You see it? Where do you see it? Oh, there it is, right? And this is this. Not. There it is. Is that that one? Oh, that's more one. That's one. And it's pointing up this one. Okay, that's done. What does it do?
Let us think about it together. Every puzzle has an answer.
Every puzzle has an answer.
The sun is rising, and when it does, its light will reveal the truth behind Labyrinthia's mysteries.
Now, Professor?
Yes. Shall we, Mr. Wright?
Objection!
Tell
Tell Lender! Bruh! 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 What the fuck? This is BS!
So this is the real magic behind Labyrinthia.
Excellent work,
Never
my
in a
boy.
sphere-ish.
Hey, it's Luke!
It's just like the artificial satellite. They're in the artificial satellite. Ish. Luke saved them. Luke did something. Look at that boy did something, man. He did not stand around. He fucking ran away, ran and did something.
Hang on a second. The town's full of machinery?
So much for magic. It was all done with these machines.
That's right.
Now that I think about it, I'm not sure if I've ever actually finished the final witch trial, if I completely rage
With
quit
magic,
from everything being
witches can fly,
nonsense.
buildings can disappear. Those are no easy feats.
But
to
hey, now
stay.
you know. Now
To make all
you have
those
seen.
incredible things
You have
real,
seen through me, though.
we needed a great deal of machinery.
Couldn't you
I
just,
wouldn't even blame if
I don't
people
know,
quit, you
made the
know,
magic a bit
during the
simpler?
witch trial, final witch trial. I would not even blame them.
A witch would say the incantation, and shades would stop time with their silver bells.
And they'd go wild with these machines, making all sorts of crazy stuff happen. That's so cool. I'd love to try it.
I took a quick crash course before operating the machines. Not bad, hey?
Yes, Luke. What would we do without you?
So when's my turn? I want to pick something up off the ground and make it fly through the air.
I wish you'd stop looking at me when you say that, Maya.
Well, in any case, I think we should head back to the courthouse.
Right you are, Professor. The judge might have fallen asleep waiting for us.
The sun has risen above Labyrinthia
Has he
and
been,
has shown
has he
us
been sitting
our
this
town's true form.
sitting here all this time?
Well, I really don't think there's any need for a verdict anymore. The witches on trial weren't witches after all. I am
shit.
deeply relieved that those I have sentenced are still alive and well. At last, I can step down from this seat with a clear conscience. And now, the final verdict in the last witches' court session ever to be held.
Not guilty! Our first not guilty verdict! Oh, the song! Oh, I haven't heard this in in a long ass time. Very grateful for all the help, Professor. The feeling's mutual, Mr. Wright. A gentleman always fights for the truth. I could not have done otherwise. Ah, this brings back memories, this music. Feels strong, man. I'd like to congratulate the two of you. You both did splendidly in the court. Oh, it's the judge. Oh, you brought it to light the truth about this town. Although I still find it astonishing that we could not see all of this. I wish I could re-experience from the start for the first time Ace Attorney. Couldn't even begin to imagine how it was achieved. You were all given a very simple instructions when you were hypnotized. You cannot see pure black. You cannot see pure black. That was sufficient. Oh. Oh, now I see these strange contraptions are made from some sort of black metal. Wait just a second. There are plenty of black objects all over the labyrinth, aren't there? Yeah, that's right. My hair's charcoal black too. Ah, but it's not pure black. What? What we often perceive as the color black is in fact far from being a pure black. Our brains interpret the reflections of light as colors. Objects which reflects even with the smallest amount of light are not pure black. Pure black is only encountered within nature as darkness. Yummy! Yummy no chikara! Darkness, sir. The machines used in the labyrinth are coated in a special material developed by Pearlum Inc. It absorbs light without reflecting any. It is the only material that can be said to be pure black. Oh, I bet this invisibility rope is also made of the same material, right? That's correct, and of course the bell tower was concealed using this very same material as well. When you think about it, this town abounds in all things invisible. This town abounds in all things invisible. Huh? Miss Darklaw, or should I say Miss Del Duke? Yes. For 10 long years, your memories had been suppressed. The truth about what occurred in the belfry was invisible to me, you mean? Mr. Cantabella and your father knew it all along. They knew who actually rang the bell. What? Did they really? Is that true, Cantabella? As we have demonstrated, it was easy to deduce from the situation in the belfry. But if he knew that all along, why didn't he say something? Because, of course, for your own good.
Don't be angry at her!
You were trying to pin the blame for that disaster on Espella. Yes, I was, but if you knew that, why did you keep quiet about it? You had only scolded me back then for lying. Maybe Espella would have suffered such trauma. Man, 10 years? They had to live in 10 years in a story. For some BS. It was your eyes, Eve. What? Your eyes weren't those of a liar. You believed in what you said. You truly thought it was Espella. What you saw was too much for you to bear. Your mind blocked out the real memory of what happened in order to maintain your own sanity. Had I called you a liar then, you would have probably suffered a mental breakdown. Mr. Cantabella and your father created this town. You were mistaken in thinking it was purely for Isbella's sake. It was also for you, Miss Belduke. Remember what your father wrote in his suicide note?
I have only two.
Yeah, that was my
It
daughter.
pains me to be leaving her alone in this world.
Yeah. I had an argument with my father once. He was always thinking only about the town and paid no attention to me. So you moved out and broke off contact with him. You were wrong about your father. Not a single day passed without him thinking about you. He helped to make the story I was weaving a reality for your sake. I've been so ignorant. I was so convinced father was driven to suicide by you. Your father couldn't bear the sense of guilt he had accumulated over the past 10 years. Even though he killed himself in the end, I believe you were always the most important person to him.
Eve?
Espella! Espella, What I did to you is unforgivable. I rewrote your story, putting you through all this. I can't believe I went to such an extreme because of one wrong assumption.
No, it's okay, Eve. I wasn't angry.
You weren't?
You've always been on my side, protecting me. And even today, you saved my life.
Espella.
I also owe you an apology. After all, I forgot about my dearest friend. I'm so sorry, Eve. Ah, there you are, Eve. Where were you?
Your cat's called Eve.
You know what I've just noticed? You two are very much alike. You and Eve the cat.
What? It's all in your head.
It looks like Eve has taken a liking to the other Eve.
You've got that right, and the similarity is really striking.
Oh dear.
Is Darklaw gonna go to jail for ringing the bell or what?
My accidental guests, Professor Layton and Mr. Wright.
I mean, she was a child back then, right? She didn't mean it to
Yes.
happen. To be honest, he should go to jail, to be honest.
I must say, I am indebted to you.
In a way.
Don't mention it.
What about the people, too? The people of of this town?
You know, when I started planning my revenge 3 months ago, Mr. Layton was a part of my plans. I needed to lure him to Labyrinthia.
Why me?
So how did they lure him? Like, did they knock him out? Did they knock them out? And, you know, or what?
You were famous in London.
How did
and
they get
word of
him
your
here?
skills reached me even here. What's more, you specialize in
We
mysteries.
saw, you know,
So I
us
thought that if
getting
you
sucked
came
into
to
the
this
book,
town,
but
you'd feel
like,
compelled to solve
that
ours.
clearly didn't happen. So how did they get us?
Well, I am honored.
That's cool. And what about me?
Ah, well, about you. How should I put it? Your arrival here was purely accidental.
Oh, no!
You mean it wasn't planned?
Oh!
As you know, Espella escaped and got involved in that incident on the freighter.
Oh!
As a consequence, I had no choice but to bring you here.
I see. I shouldn't have asked. My fragile pride has suffered yet another blow.
Phoenix!
You can't escape your fate. You're doomed to always find trouble if it doesn't find you first.
How about some words of sympathy for a change?
I am terribly sorry. The only thing on my mind the last 3 months was revenge.
Whatever your intentions were, the last witch trial has ended in the best possible way for this town. You were correct in your judgment. You always are.
You're too kind to me.
I thank you from the bottom of my heart, Eve, for opening my eyes.
Sorry to break up this little happy ending, but I've sort of got an important question. Why were you going to end the story?
Only Newton knew the real reason. I am suffering from an incurable illness.
Is he dying?
What?
Dad, you're ill. Is it serious?
It is a rare disease with no known cure.
Why didn't you tell me? Had I known...
I wanted this to be my secret. I
It's
suppose
going
that was a
on.
bad decision on my part. I thought I'd finish the story before I died and lay the foundations for a new world.
Shinsekai!
Honestly, I was desperate. I didn't much care about Labyrinthia anymore.
Dad, why did it have to happen to you? Especially now that we're finally back together.
Karma's a bitch!
Cheer up, Espella.
How can I?
Labrellum's new drug development center contacted me a short while ago.
Bruh, of course! Oh, they found a cure now, huh?
They have succeeded in creating a new medicine, thanks to Belduke's research. It's a top-secret wonder drug for my illness.
A wonder drug?
Newton had been working on finding a cure for
Bring
my illness
Belduke back!
until the very end.
At this point, these characters don't die. Bring Belduke back, please.
It would seem that the cure was
Imagine
his
the end. Oh,
final
Belduke's not dead
gift
after
to me.
all. It was a fake all along.
My father.
Newton was the truest friend I ever had. I'm going to undergo surgery. Do not fear. I shall return. So stop making that sad face, Espella.
Too bad we didn't get to see Maya
Dad.
channeling her,
will
the
everything
spirit
be back
possession
to
at
how it
all
once was?
during this game. I'll have to see at least once.
Of course it will.
And Eve, will you still be my friend? Of course.
Of course.
Thank you.
Let's play the credits already. I'm gonna take a pee-pee break. I'm gonna drop by Mrs. Eclair's bakery. I'm gonna take a pee-pee break now. Got so much to tell her. Do you mind if I go that? It won't take long. Of course not, please do. So Eve wants to come too. What? Oh, you mean the cat? Spell mind if I tag along. No, you're welcome to come. Also, maybe we'll get some tasty baked bread out of this. I thought we were going there for a different reason. Well, anyway, I'll be off then, Professor. Pass on my rare cards to Mrs. Eclair, Luke. So, what's going to happen to the town? I've released everyone from hypnosis. They will soon recover the memories of their lives before Labyrinthia. As of today, Project Labyrinthia is over. I see. They're free to leave if they so wish. I imagine they will make a run for it. This place will turn into uninhabited ruins, just like it was 10 years ago.
I have some doubts about that.
Your Honor!
I now understand that this town is an artificial creation of yours. Nonetheless, to us labyrinthians, the past 10 years were real.
Judges, stand up, ready to throw hands.
No one can yet tell how this town will change. However, it is possible that some people will want to stay. Who knows? Perhaps you will find yourself creating a new town along with them.
A new town, you say?
But if they're gonna stay, they're gonna pay taxes.
I am no longer the judge, but if possible, I would like to remain here.
Gonna pay taxes. I mean,
You have my gratitude, Your Honor.
You need not address me as Your Honor anymore, Sir Storyteller.
why do you wanna stay?
And so, the last witch trial has drawn to a close.
What, Mr. Wright?
What did Mr. Wright, Mr. Layton, and my father talk about? That I do not know. But Dad made a promise to me.
Yes.
Once everyone recovers their memories and he is cured of his illness, he will return to write a new story with everyone's help.
New story.
This time, the story will be real without any lies or illusions.
It's ringing. Just don't drink the water.
What a beautiful sound.
Almost as if it's ringing in a new beginning for the town.
Thank you, Eve.
Okay then. Whenever you are ready, Mr. Barnum.
Okay, so they're gonna all stay there?
Thank you! Thank you all so much for everything!
Espella! You take care now!
You too, Mr. Cantabella! Bye! Be sure to visit us again!
You can bet on it!
I wish all of you the very best.
I guess they get to live there for free? Mr. Storyteller
Mr.
will pay
Wright,
them.
I knew I could count on you to stand your ground and fight me to the very end.
Me too. I always believed in you, Professor. And I know it's why we managed to get to the mysterious truth behind this town.
When we get back to England, we'll drop by and see you, Luke.
Great! I'll show you around London.
Pretty sure this final trial took me like 10 hours all in all. 4 hours for this half, second half. Probably 8 hours for the final trial or so it took me. Or how long it lasted. 8-ish hours, 8 to 10 hours probably. Hey! Oh! It goes on and on. Capcom. It's the end credit scene. So time to start. Should I order? I wonder, man. Should I? I only got a couple of hours left. Ish. Should I? Should I? Spirit top of the prologue? Okay. Fucking Emir. Fuck this guy. Volkim. Yeah, this is probably a... I'll give it a solid 6 out of 10. Might be a little bit too high, but... a solid 6. Hey, the judge is a singer now. I really do hope Capcom will do something with Ace Attorney in the future. Maybe, a new entry or something. New characters, new world, or maybe, I don't know. We've been waiting for ASL for over a decade. It's over a decade and still nothing. Damn. Hey.
Professor, I feel like I've just
I think the Mega Man fans are getting since Mega Man is getting a new game next year. How long? I wonder how long Mega Man fans will be waiting for.
It certainly was an enthralling adventure.
Wait, I'm mistaken?
I wonder how Espella and the others
It's a decade this year. Still a decade almost.
See them. Although, I'd rather not have to be sucked into a book to get there.
Perhaps we should ask Carmine to come along with us.
Great! It's a real relief he recovered from all of his injuries. But he was a bit put out when he found out you'd already solved all the town's secrets, Professor.
Well, we mustn't forget that
It's the main selling points cap for Capcom's Resident Evil, right?
We couldn't
Monster
have done
Hunter
it without
too?
the help of our friends across the Atlantic.
I wonder what they're doing right now. Battling away in a courtroom somewhere?
I'd wager they may well be, Luke.
Yes,
At any
they are.
rate, we must make our own preparations. There's a brand new case that requires our attention, and that means a brand new set of puzzles to be solved.
Yay! Yay! Yay!
Hold it!
Hold it! Oh!
What's the matter, Wright? Has
What the
cat
fuck?
got your tongue?
Edgeworth! It sounds kind of weird.
Or are you still in a holiday kind of mood? Perhaps your mind is as cloudy as the English sky.
What's he doing here?
Any hints, Maya?
Not really.
They had to
If
include
only
Edgeworth at the
professor were
end.
here.
They had to include him at the
I
end.
think at this point, you've got to use that patented spell of yours, Nick.
Patented spell?
Hello, Earth to Nick. Just when we think it's all over, you always use it to turn the tables.
Ah, got it. I just have to close my eyes and say the magic word.
Magic wall.
Luckily, I don't need a witch's scepter for this one.
Objection!
Save the chit-chat for later, right? I've almost missed that utterly annoying spell of yours. Fine, let's hear it then.
Just take a deep breath and give it all you've got.
Well, here goes. Objection!
I knew it! I knew it! Is that it? Oh! Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. It's probably no A-grade C anymore after this. Pretty sure. Let me see. Professor Layton versus Felix Wright. And credit. And credits. Ending. Yeah, there's nothing more to this after this. Okay, let me switch up the game. Let me close this. Yes. Okay, give me a second, set it up. Okay. Let's put this back down there. Shoot. Oh yeah, let me change the title too. Pop.